that produces a periodic, oscillating electronic signal, often a sine wave or a square wave.
Okay, here we go. I double checked. It is streaming, apparently. Yay! Yeah. I did press the button before, and we had 4 minutes of me talking to you guys with nothing happening. Anyway, here we are. Welcome. It's another Saturday. Yes, it's come around a little bit quicker from the previous show to today. And that's because we did our last show on Monday. But don't worry, we're back to normal again now. So episode 234, if I've got the numbers counting correctly. So that's awesome. We've got a couple of people waiting in StreamYard and on the video calls here. There's a guest missing. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Anyway, welcome. This week, I guess the topic this week is new gear. Hell yeah. Have you guys checked the news out lately? There's going to be an absolute shite load of synthesizers and gear that we're going to have to get through somehow. So I guess that's pretty much going to be making up the whole show. Just one sec. Popping sounds on StreamYard, which means I've got to let people in. One sec. I know, like, this is mission control here, mate. Mission control. There we go. Let's move him in. Okay, so StreamYard's popping in. I just wanted to get through a couple of housekeeping things. Today, yes, it is Saturday. It's the 20th of January. Can you believe it's the 20th of January already? Yep. And if you don't know, if you've never watched this show before, we are streaming live from Perth in Western Australia. It's one of the most remote cities in the world. And we actually do have, a couple of tin cans and some wire between, and that's kind of how we get internet to work here. Pretty good, I thought. Australians are pretty ingenuity. Anyway, so what do we got? We talk about things like synthesizers. Obviously, you can see them in the background. Sequencers, modular synths, drum machines. We even do bits on software, music software, DAWs, music tech, that sort of stuff. Mixers, you name it. There's a lot of noise in the background, but don't worry, I'll get to all that in a sec. That's not me, it's other people. We are going to be, I guess, just about hitting the 5-year mark. Literally, I think it's the next show or the show after. So that'll be cool. So in that time, I guess we've been here for a while, and if you've never ever heard of us, I don't know what you've been doing for the last 5 years. Maybe you haven't been on YouTube. But anyway, over that time, I do get asked this question a lot, and that is, how can I contribute to the show? And I literally think there's a million ways you could, and I'll just give you a couple. You could keep the show going by being a Patreon. We've got a Patreon site. Links are all in the channel description. Or if you want, you could be a member on the channel, a YouTube channel member. It's literally below. You can just join, and there's plenty of reasons to do that. Or if you don't, you can support my music. Links are all again, once again, it's all through the channel. You can find links to my music and albums and things like that. You could do that. That's financial, but if you don't want to do the financial side, you can do the basic stuff, and that is by giving us a thumbs up, subscribing, sharing the videos, telling your mates, all that sort of stuff. That really, really does help. And there's other things you can do, like maybe make a Name That Synth video, and you can check out my website, ranzee.com, for more information about those things. So they're all the things that you can do to help. Hopefully one of those things might wet your whistle and you want to do that. We also muck around on Discord during the week, so you can make yourself available to continuing the chat on Discord. We do use Discord probably more than the other socials. I kind of like it better because it's less advertising. You guys agree, don't you? It's less advertising, and it's not bombarding us with crap that we don't want to see.
Like the old days.
Yeah, it's decent.
Probably one day it'll probably get taken over. Someone's typing in the background. If you guys can mute yourselves for a sec, that'd be good. Right, and what else can we do? You can join us right now if you want on StreamYard. The link is actually pinned in the chat right now, so you just click on it, and we've got one person waiting in there. You'll find out who that is in a sec. You do know who he is, so it's good that he joined. So there's StreamYard. What else? Let's say good day to everyone. Why don't we do that? Starting with, I don't think Darren's here, so we'll start with, I think Andy's the first this week. Hey, Andy, how are you, mate? How's your week been?
Half a week as usual. Hey, that's all right. How's it going? Just usual stuff. I've been trying to catch up on January stuff, but it's just I'm backed up on stuff. So it is a challenge to get something done every day and posted and all that kind of stuff. So I have some stuff I'll release pretty soon, but mostly just, ready for NAMM. That's a big thing next week, and making sure that's going to go without a hitch, getting my reservations done and all that. And just doing other fun stuff. I did another kind of a live stream walkthrough of San Francisco the other night when I had to go to the airport to pick somebody up. Just having fun. Not all music stuff, but yeah, good time. So glad to be here.
Awesome. Lovely to have you. And thank you, as I always say, for getting up at the hour of the sparrow fart.
Oh, it's fun.
You have such a lovely way of saying it.
Fantastic. How are you, Ian? How's your week been, mate?
Kaoss, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night. I've had the builders in. Apologies for the slight audio. It's a bit roomy at the moment, and I can't really do anything until we've had some guys called building control around to check everything off. I've got a new floor, I've got a new door and a new door frame, and you need to be Popeye to open the door. It's got one of these closers on it. But I'm gradually sort of putting the studio temporarily back together. It won't be permanently back together, but yeah, no. So that's been the whole week, really. They started on Tuesday. Half the stuff he wanted didn't turn up until Thursday, but he managed to get it all done before the weekend, So yeah, I've not had much time to do much music stuff. Although I have been messing around with the OPSix a bit. That's about it, really. Just trying to get my head around all the functions of it, really, and the buttons to push and all that sort of thing. But loving that.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing. You're a lucky man. Fantastic. Awesome. All right, on to the next. Who is next? I think it might be Chris. There he is. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, mate. How's everyone? I hope everyone's good. Hope everyone watching the stream's good as well. I've had a pretty typical week as well. I've got a little bit of an upset tummy tonight, but it's okay because there's lots of good synth news and it's pretty much cheering me up. I feel not too bad now. So that's good. So the only kind of musical thing I did this week was some work on my Lich kick drum editor thing, which I ran into a brick wall of months, well, almost a year ago now. It's the first time I've had a chance to get back to it. So that was having some success on that. So it's always good when you have a good day on the Lich, because it's a bit tricky to program and stuff. Enjoying the news, and nothing much happening on the store at the moment. There's been little bit of nibbles, but no purchases yet on the DIY kits for the GP82. But I'm still building more. I've got a unit in burn-in testing up there, which has been going for quite a few hours, and it's still going strong, doing its thing. GP82 doing its thing. Yep, and I'll be building more. And what else? Oh, I did buy something this week. I did spend money. Some of it okay, but some of it a little bit. Okay, I bought a new digital oscilloscope for the lab studio dungeon because I don't have a decent. I've been using that little pocket DRO, and I've fed up with it. It's just been costing me so much time, and I don't need losing time anymore. I need tools that work properly. So I've decided to fork out. So I've decided to fork out on a decent DRO digital oscilloscope, and which also has a HDMI output. So if I want to, I can stream it on the internet.
Yeah.
Now, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to show waveforms on a live stream, Rant? Why would you want to do that? I don't know.
So we can
anyway. Exactly. Yes, right up our alley. Other than that, I've also ordered a Bella Gliss, which we showed on the show a couple of weeks ago, which is that touch controller, little 2 HP touch controller. So that could be good fun. I'll play with that.
Guarantee you'll have fun with that. Yeah.
I'll be reaching over there, making things happen.
Yeah. Touching things.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
More touching.
Beautiful.
Go to jail for things. Right?
No, we won't go there. Awesome, mate. Awesome. Hope you feel better. If you need some Gaviscon or something like that, I've got some in the cupboard here.
I've got a whole pharmacy full of stomach settling, bowel settling, etc., etc. It's kind of bit my life, unfortunately.
Hope you get better soon, mate.
Cheers, mate.
It's never good. Always kind of makes you feel a little bit poorly. Eddie, how are you, buddy? There he is. Now, can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Loud and clear.
Yep.
Nice and smooth, or throaty and deep, because I'm having tons of issues. I haven't turned on the system for decades almost, feels like.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't see any problem with it.
A little bit sibilant maybe, but perhaps slightly too loud.
Yeah, it'll do.
Tiny little.
It's a podcast. We're not rehearsing for you know the vocals of an album here. Let's be happy with that.
Yeah. Let's do this because it's not working.
So on StreamYard, this is just for everyone else who joins as well. But as you know, when I full screen you can only see yourself. But that means that if you're full screen, that means everyone is looking at you, and then there's no need to worry about what else we're showing because you're literally seeing what we're seeing. And then when everything else is being shown, you will be partial screen, which is like this. And we then move you back to something like that, and you'll see everything else going on. So, yeah. Anyway, back to you, because, you know, we were talking about you. How's yourself been? I mean, it's been longer than weeks. So, yeah, nice to have you on. Haven't seen you for a while. Been chatting to you a little bit, but yeah.
Yes. First of all, because let me just take 1 second to thank everybody that has been supporting me with their messages, and I love messages on the social, because I've been going through a very bad batch, a bit rough bit, because I'm struggling with mental health basically. And thanks to the support of this wonderful, lovely community and these wonderful people in the chat, gave me the strength to come back basically.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And thank you. I only have grateful words for all of you. It means it has meant the world to me. Really, it's the reason why I'm back. And apart from that, tons of shit. Things going good, things going bad. Gear being acquired, bank accounts being drained, and the usual struggle that we all know and love, isn't it?
I warn you, do not watch the rest of the show.
No, thankfully, the bank account is empty now, so nothing can go out.
Okay, fair enough.
I think a lot of us are going. I think a lot of this is going to cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
It will in the future, but not immediately.
It's really good to have you.
That's true. Very,
very good to have you. And over the show, we'll cross over to your end for some nice opinions and things like that. And there is definitely one part of the show that I specifically put in just for you. So, and I didn't even know you were coming on. So how's that?
Very good.
How's that?
Call me flabbergasted. Call me.
Yeah. Well, wait till you see it.
Me.
Wait till you see it. It's going to be a little bit down further into the show, so be patient. We'll get there though. But I do want to say
everything in due time.
Want to say hi to these people.
Thank you very much.
Literally, these people right here. See that list of like characters and stuff? They're called chatties. Hey, hello chatties. Yeah, they're jumping up at your head there, Chris. How's everyone been? Nice to see you all. Now I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through the list today because we really have to squaddle on. But let me just do a quick list. Of course, a big, massive hello to all the channel members, and you can see them in the chat because they've got little stars next to the name, little colourful stars. Isn't that awesome? So right now you can see like Maikshifter and 47. They've got little stars next to their name. They're channel members. Those people are awesome, and I do appreciate them. But having a quick sort of run through, we've got David's there, and big hello to you. ASIO Head, Crispin Furbank. That's a great nickname. Big hello to you. Don't know if I've seen that one before, so tell us where you're from, unless it's something I should remember. I'm not sure. Anyway, Geert's there. Big hello to you, mate. Jim's there. Big hello to you as well. Madcat Modular, Kissing the Machine. Hello to all of you. Man with Beard. Good place to be. That's good. Matt Brown, how are you? Andy Synchrotron's there, and Wagoo, and we've got more. I know there is more, but you can see them on your screen. So please give yourself a warm welcome. We love having you on the show, and thanks for being part of it. Of course, like you are every week. Really, really appreciate you being here. Okay, right. Let's get stuck into it, shall we? Got lots to do. Woohoo! Starting with this. Memes to be had. And let me tell you, these memes, there's a theme. I think the one that this guy did this one, I think it should have been the OPZ. When I saw this, the Yamaha, of course, we're talking about down the bottom here. I thought straight away, wow, that's an OPZ, or OPZ if you're coming from Andy's world. Andy, put your hand up. Come on, you say Z, don't you, mate? Resident
Zia.
I have two OPZs right here.
Yeah. There we go.
It's Z. There
you go.
They're Zs, mate. They actually are Scandinavians. I don't know what this. Do they say Z or Z in Scandinavia? I'm not sure. The Swedish.
I think they say that because they learn English from you guys.
The English, so. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, there's a theme. There is a theme. There's the next one. It's like. Let's confuse the
man
world.
is confused. Yes.
Well, I mean, maybe he's confused about the price. I'm not sure. By the way, that OP1 that you can see there, this used to always do my head in, right? Did they make different coloured versions of the OP1?
No.
So why does that look grey and white?
One's slightly different.
That's a field.
It's probably the OP field.
That's the field, is it? And the field is definitely two-tone, is it?
Yeah, it's got that grey edge around it as the field.
Because
mine has those weird coloured knobs.
Mine was like a light grey, like yours, Ian. Mine's the same as yours. It's like a light grey colour. Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway, sorry, I just went off on a little tangent there because I was confused. When you get to my age, you get confused a lot. Dementia and all those sort of things start settling in. Right, next, more on the same thing. Orange is the new grey.
Yeah, that's good.
New season out. All right, I think enough of the SEQTRAK. SEQTRAK. I don't know how you'd say it. SEQTRAK. It's going to get some weird names. SEQTRAK. Yeah.
SEQTRAK, is it?
SEQTRAK.
We call it a
cigarette model with the filter on it.
Yeah, SEQTRAK. I was going to say SEQTRAK at first. Rewind the tape. I started saying C, and then I said SEC. Anyway, who cares? Last one, I promise. This one got a fair. I think this one on the Synth Means website got a fair bit of laughs out of it. Okay. In the US, I think those ice creams are quite popular with the orange
creamsicle.
Yeah, creamsicles.
Yep.
What do we call them?
Looks more like a cigarette.
I haven't bought one since I was
cream ices. I think cream ices or something like that. Ice creams. Because you've got ice creams as your standard name, but so we call them cream ices or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, let's get away from that now. We'll get away from it. Okay, class, we're going to talk about people with great taste in music. Guys, sorry guys, it's time to wake up. You're actually dreaming. You're dreaming. This one was sent in by Robbie, who I don't know if he's in the chat, but anyway, if he is, big hello to him. When no one at the party wants to talk about synthesizers. To you.
Yep.
Yeah. Hit and drown and sink.
I'm drunk, baby. Take advantage of it. I'm buying 3 new synthesizers.
That's a good one.
Ooh, yeah. Which 3 would they be?
I have a variation for that one.
See, now we're starting to become a bit more truthful with our memes. I like this one. This is like more reality. Okay, what else we got? Introducing the Teenage Engineering Toasty.
Most
hope it
expensive
talks.
sandwich in the world. Reminds me of the toaster from Red Dwarf.
Does a
Yes. Yeah. Talking
Cheerful
toaster. Yeah.
Some would
Yeah,
say
that's a
that's
toaster with Bluetooth.
Yeah.
some would say that's a pretty
Wait, what?
crummy joke. That one.
Uh-huh.
Next.
Toasty if you say that.
When you mix on your headphones, but you want your studio to look legit.
Takes a bit of talent. It will take a bit of talent to line up the camera too. So I'd give that one some respect.
That one is cool. I like
Yeah,
how he's
man.
and he's also orientated his monitors so that
Yeah,
they're
exactly,
portrait
yeah.
as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's done well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you'd probably leave it there for a few days just to sort of admire your handiwork, wouldn't you? All right, and another one sent in by Robbie. This one is my secret MIDI chord
Oh
packs.
my god. Sacrilege!
Miles Davis.
Jesus Christ.
Although
No.
they're a little hard to
No,
translate
ever,
to trumpet
no.
rolls, but
True. That should be a true or false question to whether you should get into music school or not. Do you think this statement is true? If your answer is yes, then leave through that door there.
Quite a lot of memes this week. I did add a few extra, on the front because it's topical. So, if you do have a favorite and it's the SEQTRAK, tell us which one, or tell us which one's your favorite. Anyway, if you can remember them all. I don't really want to go through them again. Rewind and watch them again.
I like the Take Advantage one. That's my favorite. So
The three new
Yeah,
synths.
take advantage. Is
My favourite too.
Yeah.
Yep.
3.
Yeah.
It's topical as well. So.
It's so true, isn't it?
Man with beard reckons the pretend speakers is the best. Wagoo likes the toaster. Eddie likes the speakers as well. The guy at the party says, James, we've all been there. I don't know, James. I mean,
I've never been
I've got
to a
a
wedding.
I've actually got to be invited to a party first. I mean,
Exactly,
yeah. There's a few people that like the toaster.
I love it, Megan. No, it's making flapjacks. It's a Red Dwarf reference.
It was, yes. Well, very good Red Dwarf reference. All right, I'll probably say. I'm saying we'll go a tie between the toaster and the 3 synths.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We'll do a tie because I reckon it's pretty close. Interestingly enough, nobody. I mean, I'm the same. I like the 3 synth one as well, but nobody liked the SEQTRAK ones. Probably because we all thought it. As soon as we saw it, we all like.
It's
Currency is an issue.
It's
too.
because you make us choose one.
well,
True.
they also got it wrong too because it really is more like the OPZ. So
It is. It's like the OPZ. Yeah, get it right, guys. Well, put your memes in. You got to get them right. Got to get them politically.
Incorrect.
Accurate. Accuracy is appreciated.
Yeah, get them accurate. Yeah. All right. Well, it's good to have everyone's opinions. Let's see what your opinions are this section. It's the news time, and it's going to be long. Lots and lots and lots of stuff to talk about. And my title's working still. Look at that. Look at that. My title's. Don't worry, Eddie. You asked. You were in the background. We can hear you and everything, but we just can't fit your beautiful head in. I can do some magical things like.
Nobody wants to see me. I understand that. Not even me.
But I can do things like pop you up here if you like. So
Hey.
we'll do that for now. So you're in there. You're just covering a bit of the product, but that's all right. Yay! All right, let's do SEQTRAK. I know we all know what this is now. It's been out. It's been out pretty much since I woke up Tuesday morning and found out about it. So it's like I literally did a show Monday, and the next day we've got products coming out of the gazoobas. But yeah, what we should probably do is have a little look at the Yamaha video first, I think. Now, while I get that fired up and ready because I forgot to turn OBS on again, let's talk about the specs of this thing. So, this is a groove box. It's got 11 tracks, 7 drums, 1 FM synth. By the way, the FM synth is only 4 operators, right?
Yep.
two WMS2 synths, which are the, the
Successors of the AWMs.
what do you call it? AN1X synths, basically synth engines. One sampler, and it's got effects, and it's got a mixer and a performance section, and it is a mobile device with a built-in battery and a built-in speaker, and the battery is rechargeable, and it lasts about 3 to 4 hours. Anyway, let's get stuck into all of that but after the video, because I think it's quite featured for the money. We're looking at $599 MSRP US dollars, so that's not too bad. Now, do I have it working yet? Yay, it's working. All right, we click on this. Eddie, I'm going to have to disappear you for a sec. Sorry, mate. You're just covering up the video slightly. Here we go. Change colour.
Art bench.
Did it again.
There we go. A little bit repetitive on that music. I felt Yamaha probably could have done a better job with the music.
Cats and boots and cats and boots.
Yeah, it was literally like it's a bit like Ranz's drum beats.
I can do
I've been watching too much of my channel. I think, oh, that sounds good. Let's do that. Let's bring Eddie back in. Where is he? He's down here somewhere. Couple of other things before we get on to the meats and the potatoes. I wanted to mention a couple of things, calling it out. They talk about this stuff like it's a big thing. I talk about it like, is that all? Like, for example, there are extensive sounds and samples with 2,000 presets. 392 can be added via the app. And like, I'm thinking 2,000 presets is not big this day and age when we're talking processors and memory. I mean, if you think back in the late 90s, you had 2,000 presets on the Roland JV series stuff. So that's 25 years ago. Anyway, built-in sampler is only 44.1, 16-bit. That's a bit on the side. So that's CD quality, if you're wondering. So CD quality has been around since the 80s. So that's people might say, oh, it's a groove box. Why do you need 96K, or why do you need such high sampling rates? Well, because you can, and it's been around for a long time. So why are we doing CD like 1980s quality digitizing of samples? And I think that could have been improved as well. And I think the storage of tracks and bars and projects was a bit light on as well. I understand when you're looking at this right now, you're seeing there's no display, so they're probably going to be limited to what little lights and things, and key presses and shift menus and things like that they're going to be with this. But they're the couple of things that kind of I thought that's a little bit disappointing, and I'm sure there's more when we get talking to it. So let's start with anyone who wants to go first.
So there's one problem with comparing to the OPZ, and that is according to the specs that I read, it's only AWM2 and FM for operator. OPZ has 12 synth engines in it. Also has sampling. Also has the punch-in effects for live tweaking DJ style and other kinds of weird trick out stuff. Also has step components, which makes it more electron-like, so you can go off the rails with it. And if you add the little OpLab pack to it, it's also MIDI, CV gate, sync, and controls the whole studio, which this thing can't really do except maybe through USB or MIDI. So they are quite different animals, but it is a cool idea. I like the basically the Reface DX, right? It's basically Reface DX with sampling in a small box. So I like the Reface DX, and the demo is a terrible music demo because it doesn't show you anything cool. It's just a boring beat with some basic synth sounds, but it's obviously way more capable than that. They should have put a better video out. But anyway, so it's not really an OPZ or OPZ killer, but it's kind of similar, and definitely looks interesting. And it's the price isn't too bad, but I don't know. I'd have to play with it at NAMM next week, so I'll see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely have a feel. Definitely have.
I can't remember what the price was. How much is it?
$5.99 US.
$5.99.
So its street price will be sort of in the mid fives. I would say like $5.50, somewhere around there.
So it's about the same price as an OPZ new. So
yeah. I mean, it directly is competing with it. So Ian, what did you think?
I quite like the look of it, if I'm honest. And had I not bought an OPZ, I might have been looking at this. I have to say, I think the grey orange one looks hideous. I like the black one. And the black one looks okay. It looks like two different pieces of things that's been put together. Really, there's the orange one, the orange and grey one. I'm not in the market for this because, like I say, I've just bought the OPZ, so that's. And it was an awful lot cheaper because it was second hand. But I think it's something to certainly look at, and I'd want to play with one. I wouldn't just go out and buy it like I did with an OPZ without playing on it.
I don't think you did wrong there, though. Seriously.
Oh, I didn't do wrong. No, I'm very happy with it. I've still got the button thing to sort out, but that's a job for the future, really, because I'm not being hampered by that at the moment. When I'm messing around with it, because I am just messing around with it. I'm not actually writing any proper tracks with it. No, I like this. I think price. There's an awful lot in that market at that sort of price, though. Not think. I always like to see things cheaper. To be honest, we'll get onto Korg later on. But
some of the guys in chats are saying that it's going to be $3.99 in the US.
That's much better. If it's $3.99 US, you're looking at $3.60 UK, $3.70.
$3.49 was what Jim said. £3.49.
But $3.49 is a good price, and at that price, it's
Yep.
It's
And I've got OPZs used for that, so there's a good comparison there.
Yeah. You could almost take a punt on that, couldn't you?
Yeah.
$3.50.
Now I'm wondering if Chris will remember what his biggest gripe was with this. I wonder if he can remember.
Yes, I will remember. I have one reservation in terms of first of all, this is not really my bag. I'm not really into the park bench compatible scene, as you well know, but I like it from a perspective. I think they're entering into the market, that sort of area of the market. I think it's a pretty strong entry for Yamaha. They're pretty smart people there. I think they possibly the reason why there's things like no MIDI in or no sync and stuff like that. I think that's where the budget's gone. Basically, they would have had to have whipped off a few things like that. No, the thing I was just had reservations about when I first saw it is the position of all the little buttons around the perimeter of the actual case, which is an interesting idea, which I have my doubts about. Because I reckon if you have that on your desk and you have lots of other things around, like, well, looking at my desk, I've got mouses and torches and glasses of water and coffee cups. How many times am I going to accidentally bump one of those things and it's going to do something like, erase a track or something like that? They've probably addressed it in the firmware, which is why I'd need to try it to be able to verify that.
Or you can hold it from the
decision.
front and the back sort of thing. You're going to hold it. You're not going to hold it from the sides, maybe.
No, you're not going to hold it from the side, but I'm just more thinking you're going to put it next to something. And if you put it next to something and you bump it, you may bump the button.
Yeah.
Or two. The other thing I thought was a bit iffy is the parallax error, what I call the parallax error. When you're looking at something from a distance away and you're trying to reach around to press a button, but did I press the button next to it or the button? Because the label's on the top.
Because the angle.
Button's around the back. And it's hard enough doing that with cables. All my sense now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just thought, oh, no, I don't know if I want to go down that road.
Yeah.
Thanks. So,
I kind of find it interesting, though, Chris, because we've got Yamaha aren't literally new to the groovebox scene. And I wrote this article in my blog back on the 16th of January when I guess this thing came out. One of the things I wrote was, Yamaha have been doing some decent groove boxes in the past, and the last one I believe that they made was the RS7000, which is this one pictured. I think I'm right when I showed this, and that was a pretty mean groove box, and it was very, very capable. Andy, you had one of these, didn't you? If I remember rightly.
Not quite. I mean, it's basically a grown-up QY 100. But
you had the QY. Okay, yeah.
It's like a QY meets RM1X.
Yeah. Well, the RM1X is the one I had, and this was the next one that came out.
I still have that. It's good.
I wish I had this instead of the RM1X, and I ended up getting rid of my RM1X. But nothing wrong with the RM1X; it just wasn't my cup of tea. And don't forget, they also did these little series of the 200 series, we call them, where they had the AN, the DX, and the SU. And there's a picture of my AN 200 that I've got. And so they were really, really good at making little groove boxes. And I mean, I don't want to go into it because got a big show today, but there's some really cool sequence features in these things that I'm scratching my head, guys, because I don't think Yamaha have put some of those features that they've already got the code and the software for into this. And I'm kind of like, what? And these aren't the first company to do it. Yeah. Not the first company to do it, by the way. Look at Korg Electri, but we won't go there, right? So
sack the programming.
But I think if you look at this and the last couple of products that Yamaha have brought out, I mean, I absolutely love the drum thing, the finger drum thing. I'm playing with it every day.
Great product.
It's great, absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure this will be really, really good fun if you've not got anything like that in your armory.
Yamaha make good quality gear too, so this will probably.
Yeah.
I'm interested, Andy, when you go to NAMM and play with this, just to check out the build quality of this, because usually Yamaha stuff.
I'm sure I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Is the black thing at the top?
This one is ugly. I like the dark one better. So.
Is that an SD card or is that something else?
It's just a label.
Yeah, the black thing at the top. If it's a label, cut the bloody thing off.
Yeah, I don't know.
How many people are going to do?
That's too. That's too.
You're going to halve its. You're going to halve its resale value if you cut that label off.
Yeah, I would. That's the first thing I would do.
Do I have another picture of that?
If it's just one of those little flimsy little cloth labels, come on, get over yourselves, guys. You don't need that.
Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys. There was a photo, so look at the colors of this, and we've been ramping on about how similar this thing is to the OPZ or OPZ, right? Have a look at this photo. This is a teenage engineering photo. Look at the color of the background. Hello, right? Yeah. So, and also the companion app, right? The Yamaha's got a companion app as well.
But the app is very flat. It's not skeuomorphic or whatever. It's a very flat interface.
But it doesn't have some video display thing, the app?
That's what you have. That's what that screen showed. That's Unity graphics.
The visualizer.
No, but the Yamaha one doesn't it?
That's what
pretty.
Oh, I haven't seen the app for the Yamaha.
Yeah. The obviously the OPZ has one, but the Yamaha one definitely has it. And it has a visualizer, and it comes with some models, sort of
3D models and
3D models and things. And to me, that is a direct copy. Yeah, a direct copy.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap.
But again, it only has one engine and a sample. It doesn't have 12 synth engines. So
yeah.
It's not. Yeah. It's less powerful in a lot of ways.
It's apples and oranges in that regard, isn't it? Right? Yeah.
They went for Cliffy instead of.
Yeah. All right,
and of the trigger tricks.
Guys, chatties, if you want to bring a point to the table, just highlight my name. It's always the easiest way to get my attention, because I do have to run a show, and I'm kind of putting my eyes across the chat to try and pick things up. But sometimes it's really, really hard when there's a lot of things scrolling through. So if you do want me to sort of bring your point across, do that. Highlight my name, and it's probably never too late, but we're going to go on to the next anyway, because we've got a lot to get through, and you guys know what we've got to get through.
Real quick, one thing I also forgot to mention: the OPZ will import patches from the OP1. A lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
don't know that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you
it was meant to be the replacement to the OP1 because at the time when they brought it out,
Yeah.
they couldn't actually get the OLED display. That was the whole issue with
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
that was the
Remember
whole
that.
issue with it. And then obviously they
So the field
decided-
has a different size. It's
That's
a
right.
different sensor,
Yeah.
a different display.
different display. Yeah. All right, let's get on to this. This is BlueCat audio. This is a bit of software. I know. Yeah, Rant is showing software. Wow, what the hell? Yep, I definitely am, and you'll work out why in just a sec. What is this? This is called Fader Hub, and no, it's not a mixing app, and it's not a networking app for your local data center. But what it is, it's actually a network mixing and streaming software that provides an easy solution to play and record with other musicians on either your LAN, local area network, or through the internet in real time. So do you guys remember we did that stream a few weeks back where we did Jam Tabber? And which is the what was that thing called? The servers.
Nimjam.
Ninjam.
Ninja.
Yep.
Ninja, that was it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jam
Now,
Tabber. Yeah.
Ninjam and Jam Tabber are both open source software, so there's no closed source code in them that I knew about. And I just wanted to find out, like, BlueCat's a pretty reputable developer. They've got quite a lot of commercial offerings out. A lot of people say they do good VSTs and things like that. I just want them to tell us, is any of the code from, Ninjam or Jam Tabber? I just want them to be honest with it and let us know, because I'm seriously just wanting to know, is have they come up with a new way of doing this that's different to what Ninjam are doing? Let's watch the video. Yeah, quick.
I was going to say they can use the same concept but do it a different way using their own source code.
But because the other stuff is open source, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's the age-old argument.
Yeah.
Anyway, you go.
Yeah, let's have a look at the video anyway, so we can have a bit of a look at the features. I think I'll stop there because, it's not my cup of tea with the music. I do apologize if people are into that sort of music, but you guys get the idea, right? It's some sort of jamming collaboration, or you could probably even use it as a studio management thing if you wanted to, I guess. But I'm pretty sure you can do most of this stuff with Jam Tabber.
Yes.
There are definitely some features in this that are like a specific to BlueCat's software suite, like some of the effects and things like that. But like when you put Jam Tabber into your DAW as a VST, you can use any of the other VSTs to add effects and bring those sort of things in. The difference, I guess, is that if you look at this, is each track has its own DAW sort of style of mixing and inserts and things like that. So it is kind of different in that sense. Everyone in chat's whinging about the drummer.
That was a good. I thought that was good because he started out and then came in, which is a good example.
It sounded like me on my finger thing.
If you ask the drummer, everyone else was out of time and he was in time.
Yeah, it was fine.
Anyway, thoughts about this? It's $79 US to buy.
No, it's not.
Just
like
the
79.
I just had a thought. Just regards to your comment about being similar to Jamtaba, isn't the big difference here that this is really just network streaming API to a mixer? There's no real effort made to deal with large latencies. So it's definitely meant to be, each individual channel has its own latency. They talk about in the video how, you know, it will tell you what the latency is, and the further away you are, the latency will be greater. And they're embracing the latency and saying you work within that. Whereas Jamtaba was all about that, all about sort of saying we eliminate the problem of latency because everyone's one bar or one loop behind, so we all sound like we're all in sync, and it's kind of the same as real jamming. Whereas this is very much sort of, you know, literally what we're doing is using a network streaming technology in our mixer to allow people to collaborate over the latency that is present. So. Difference there. I mean, different. That's different sort of philosophy.
That's really good point, Chris. Actually, really good point. You know, I didn't realise that was the case. That you know, they aren't managing the latency at all, are they? In that sense. So I guess what the technology here could be from BlueCat is that they've cracked the sort of high quality streaming, or maybe adaptive streaming, because they have a setting where that can enable, I think it's sort of a quality of service type auto thing where, if, you know, and you think about it, it's like when we watch YouTube videos and connection drops out or something weird happens and it drops you down to 480p and then it comes good again, it drops out to 100, 1080p. It's all pretty standard sort of streaming technology, but I think this is the first time someone's kind of put their own proprietary sort of version of that purely for audio and purely in a music piece of software. That might be.
Plus, we're using the free Jamtaba, which had no privacy. Your jams are available to anybody. This one, by paying for it, you're going to get a locked-in private jam set that no one else can touch. But does Jamtaba have a paid thing? I don't remember that. Do they have a paid section that's private?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't use it.
I don't think they do. So this would be the model of that gives you privacy. No one can steal your jams. You know.
I mean, it's not a massive amount of money.
No, it's not.
Eddie,
I'm either very confused or none of this is making any sense to me. Synthetic. First, Jamtaba has privacy. If you host your own server, that room is locked by a password that only the people you give the password to would have access to the room.
Didn't do it that
so you have privacy.
I didn't know that.
I know. That's why I'm bringing it up, because I'm trying to learn as much of that software as I can, because it might be the cornerstone of my future endeavors. Second, one thing I didn't see in this advert, probably because you chopped the video too soon, is Jamtaba also has options of real-time audio, as in talkback, not compensated, and I think webcam. And don't quote me on that, but I see the symbol in the GUI, but I've never actually put it to work.
Yep.
So I don't see this in BlueCat. Second, and going to Maikshifter's point, if the software doesn't do the syncing, what's the whole point of the software? I don't think. I believe that they tell you how much are you off, if you want to know, or if you need to do a tweaking. But if the software is not resyncing everybody, what's the whole point?
I agree. It's a bit of a strange thing to miss.
So I think we need to dig deeper into the BlueCat version. Plus, it looks cooler. Definitely the GUI is way more appealing.
Modern.
And yes, 3D, which is the type I like. Is that I'm against, but I don't feel inclined to any flat GUI at all. It's like, no.
I don't mind the Jamtaba GUI. I think all my life.
It does. I mean, that one is on the verge. It's really, it's not really flat, but it's not as luxurious as the BlueCat one looks. To my taste, okay, it's my taste. The way I like to explain it is, I'm from the Pong generation, and this 40 years of life has been increase the resolution of the graphics, of the computer graphics. I don't really understand this going back to flat or going back to squares like in this bloody the video game where everything is blocky.
Minecraft.
Jigs. Thank you very much. Yes, I don't get it. Why do we need to go backwards?
Yeah, well,
nostalgia.
Great. Yeah,
I think I think the distinction that we've got to look at here is probably with BlueCat, it's not the same. How do I say it? So they're kind of attacking it from a different philosophy. So Jam Tabber is basically, hey bro, do you want to collab? You want to jam with me? That's the philosophy with Jam Tabber, and it could be public or like you said, it could be private. With this is probably more, like I said, this is more like coming from the studio point of view. So you've got a band, or you're actually in a recording studio, and Mike, who's the guitarist, he's stuck at home with COVID. He can't make it to the studio, but he's quite capable of playing the guitar and plugging it in and to his audio interface and streaming. Cool. That's kind of what this is trying to achieve, from what I can work out anyway.
Then what we're talking here is not a competence, or it's not trying to play on the same field as Jam Tabber.
Yeah.
And just because I just bought the bloody software, it's trying to compete with things like VST Connect from Steinberg, with the caveat that this one, Vienna VST, could be attached to any DAW, when VST Connect is exclusive to Cubase.
Yeah. And that also had some dramas too, if you remember. So that's probably why that hasn't taken off properly either. The one that had the drama and the one that got dropped was it's not, because their naming conventions always drive me bonkers. There was another one. There was a VST, as it could work under any DAW real time, because that's the one I wanted to buy, but they just discontinued it in August 2023 because apparently they were having too much issues on the support for all the DAWs. It was clashing with them because it opened a video connection, or a real time. The one with video is VST Connect, the new one. It was opening a real-time recording, multi-track recording in between DAWs through the VST. I remember the one you're talking about. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So anybody with any DAW, you could install the VST for free, and the guy from Steinberg could have them feeding them real track, and I think it had a mic. Talkback microphone with the artist. The new one is a standalone, but it's video conference. You have real-time video and audio with a person. You can choose to have real-time audio recording streaming to your Cubase session, but if you don't trust the streaming quality of your connection, you can have low-quality real-time, local high-quality recording. And when the session is finished, the system itself will pack the high quality files and bring it to your Cubase session.
Yeah.
That's clever.
80 fucking quid that I put down the drain, basically.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So we do need to move on. But okay, so this kind of this streaming stuff kind of does have a history. And I knew that when we first started, I started my stream back in 2019. The technology that I was using right at the start was OBS Studio, and then the next thing that came on was let's get video callers in, and so we were using Skype. Do you guys remember how bad the audio is on Skype?
God, yeah.
It's basically they obviously are using filters to reduce the bit rate and all that sort of stuff, right?
There was a way of getting it better, but it still wasn't great.
So you could like for a music show, you could never ever have anyone sort of go, "Oh, this is what my synth sounds like," down like a telephone sort of, it was terrible.
Zero fidelity.
So then I got vMix, and the first vMix call that came out, the audio in it was like Skype. It was rubbish, but the video was really, really good. Eddie's just dropped out. I'm sure he's going to come back. So if you think about this progression of streaming technology, and COVID was like probably in the terms of a good thing that came out from COVID is that they got like software engineers to get down and actually properly develop some of these codecs and actually get them out and tested. And you saw the Zoom completely, that company go gangbusters during COVID. And a lot of this audio stuff was sneaking in underneath in the background. So the network-based streaming audio went from being telephone quality like Skype now to the point where it's... Hang on, let me get Eddie in. One sec. Now to the point where the audio quality is like MP... Well, on the vMix calls that you guys are on, here, not Eddie, but the other ones... You guys are on MP3 3. What's that? The highest MP3 320k or whatever it is, which is not bad.
Yes.
That's not bad. I mean, if you're bringing a synth through that, you can hear most of. It's lossless, definitely, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
The next level is what they're doing through these, like Jamtabber and obviously this BlueCat stuff. The question will be with you guys is if you're looking at either. I would ask the question about the quality of the audio going between at what quality is that? Is it at? And if you look at the BlueCat stuff, it's supposed to be up there with the highest quality. And I guess that's probably going to be the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Sorry, my connection totally died on me. So.
No worries. You're back in. That's the main thing. All right, we're going to move on. We're done Fader Hub. Well done to BlueCat, by the way, for that, because I actually do think it, like you said, Chris, I think it's a good take on this. And if you're taking it from a more professional point of view, like it's not, hey, bro, do you want to collab? This is more like, I want to record a session. Yeah, this is probably where you want to go. And I do like the way they handle the latency because it's in your face. So that's good. Right, next. Time for some Korg, people. I when I saw this, I thought, oh, how cute. I mean, this really, I don't even know really why it made it on the show, to be fair. But there's so many things I want to say about this, but I just don't want to waste the whole show talking about this tiny little thing. Why don't we watch the video? Cute. It's cute. Let's watch this.
Yes,
I think
please.
You'll get the idea. So in my blog article during the week, I said, sack the drummer. You've now got the KR-11. That's all you need. It's not all you need. I mean, it doesn't sync to anything. It's literally just a standalone little jamming drum thing. But it's cute as anything. It's only it's 110 US. Probably street price is probably going to be about 80, 90 US, somewhere around there.
It's not new.
Yeah, I know
it's a rebadge.
Not. I know it's not new.
It's a KR Mini, right?
Okay.
So we do the KR Mini?
The KR Mini. An updated KR Mini. Yeah.
That was about $100.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can get it for about 68 quid is the street price for a KR Mini now. So this will be a little bit more. But yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, I think they're selling it as a practice thing, really.
So where I want to go with this with you guys, right? You probably think, what has really got this product really probably shouldn't be on the Synthy sort of show. Hey, guys, who here's got an ARP 2600? Most of us probably have bought the Behringer one, right? Or, okay,
the cheap one.
Maybe I should say here, who's got an envelope follower? Okay, now see where I'm going with it. So you can use this little baby through an envelope follower. And it can do some kind of funky things. Yes, because there's no other way to sync this, right? But you could use it through an envelope follower. And you've got the 2-foot switches that you can do the fills with, and you could sample that, and you could have, if you've got one of those new SEQTRAKs from Yamaha, you could do you see where we're going with some of these products? Or you could stream it live with BlueCat's Fader Hub
You can mix it with the vocoder too. Do some vocoder drums.
Anyway, it's a cute little thing. I know it's a rebadge. There are a couple of new features, I believe, in this that the previous one didn't have. I believe it didn't have the 2 foot switches, if I remember rightly.
It did.
It did. Okay.
It had at least one, if I remember, because we sold them.
I thought it only had 1 foot switch.
I think it was 1 foot switch, not 2. But, I'm just having a look at the spec.
So you can play footsies with your buddies while you jam.
Yeah.
2 foot.
Okay, guys, I'm back. I got a question.
Yeah.
What can you modify in this thing?
Not really. It's not really much. It's
Nothing.
standalone.
Nothing.
It's standalone.
So it's just a speed. That's all the control you have over each style, which, by the way, they're not enough.
Not many. There's 126 patterns, 252 fills. I mean, you'd have fun with the fills, but the patterns are kind of going to be Korg-esque. 14 variations.
You can make your own song, mix and match and smash in different patterns. Is that right?
It's basically the best way to describe it. It's basically like the old Korg. The old Korg mini pops. You know, why did they bring out the mini pops back in the 60s and 70s or 80s, whatever it was? That was because there was an organ without a drum machine. This product is basically like a little standalone drummer. You know, that's what it's for.
Yeah, it's for guitarists that don't have any friends.
Yeah, take
Plus,
a couple
this
of batteries.
new one has a speaker. The KR Mini didn't have a speaker on it. So.
Yeah,
It didn't have a speaker, and it did only have 1 foot pedal.
yeah.
It's just I think it's just start and stop.
I think they've improved the engine. I think there is definitely a few improvements on it. So it's not massive though, but yeah. Hey, some people get these things, and like if you're looking at someone like Mark Mothersbaugh and those sort of guys, they circuit bend these things, right? They get these products and they put them into their electronic musics, and they make them part of the the glitchiness and the weirdness of what they're doing. So when you look at these products, it's cheap as anything. It's going to have some interesting kind of drum fields and stuff that you can muck around with. Imagine having like a cool sampler and then like doing a stupid little pre-programmed Korg drum system that's going to sound naff, but then you bring the fill in and then you resample it, chop it up, glitch it, particleize it with your Panda Pedal 2 particle effects, all that cool stuff. Shapeshifter.
Add some chiptune stuff too.
Yeah. Have some fun with these things. These are the cool little things that you can that can just add a little bit of life to your music, and that's kind of why I'm showing it.
Yeah,
Use your
and
imagination.
it's an extra tool, but not as a device on its own.
All right, so we'll go Ian first.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I said in the chat on PSN last night, I thought it was pants. To be fair, Ranzee, I still think it's pants.
Yeah, I know. And you're into the circuit bent stuff too, to be fair.
I am definitely, yeah. But I don't circuit bend myself, so I can see somebody else doing it, and then I might be interested. But as it is, it's pretty limited in terms of what it's,
Yeah.
What you can. It's great if you just for a rehearsal thing where you haven't got a drummer, or you want to jam with some friends. Fair enough. It's not, I'll take it down to Workingman's Club and the guy with the organ, back in 1970. That's perfect. Then.
Yeah. You got it. That's it. Yeah. And that sort of feel may be what you want to capture, right, into some sort of more modern electronic representation and glitch that up or sample it, resample it. That's kind of where I'm going with it, because this is basically a one-trick pony.
Guy with the guitar, because it's great for practicing with the guitar too. So,
well, I mean the obvious part, Andy, you're right. You got it. If you're into that sort of stuff, I'm not, but. Yeah, I mean, when I said sack the drummer, it was really tongue in cheek. Please don't sack your drummer. Please don't sack your drummer.
Never.
I mean, I seriously need to be friends with drummers right now, because Chris knows just how bad my drumming is at the moment. It's been.
Well, it's a drummer in that last video. You got to sack him. That drummer was pretty bad. So.
Yeah. Well.
But he was. But he'll tell you he was in tune and he's in time and everyone else was out.
Of course.
I think you've got to give the guy cut him some slack, because I think there was a latency problem there. They were
I
all
think he
supposed
was-
to be following the drummer, and they weren't.
That's their video on how cool is our collab software across the internet, and when
Yeah.
the drums were
And the
out.
guy's off. So
And everyone's
you
saying in
redo
the chat,
video.
guys, the drum's out. I'm like, hello, I know this. Anyway, we should move on. Let's get stuck into some real Korg products, and I think you guys are pretty much expecting these ones. Obviously, this one is kind of controversial, right? So
Yeah.
I kind of feel it's a slap
Also-
and it's a pat at the same time. You know how you get a
Yeah.
slap across the back of the head and a pat in the back at the same time? that's what Korg are getting with this. It's a MicroKorg. We've had MicroKorgs, if you don't know, are probably one of the biggest selling synthesizers in history in the world. I think they probably still hold that. Maybe the DX7 might. I'm not
They
sure.
do.
Someone
No,
might
most
be
of
able
them-
to argue that.
Yeah.
But up until probably now, they were still selling MicroKorgs in your retailer down the street. In fact, you probably go down there today,
I'll
you'll
tell
still
you.
sell them, right? That product was brought out in 2003, 2004. That's 20 years for the same product, and it was still selling. Anyway, so the 2 is out.
It's not. Yeah, the original MicroKorg is not discontinued. Well, I can only talk about the UK, but at the moment it is not discontinued, and they're still bringing them in. So
Okay.
there's a price difference thing, isn't there, with this? So
There is, yeah. So this one's the 2. What's different about it? Well, it's twice the voices. So you've got 8 voices now instead of 4. And I'm like, whoop-de-doo. You could have done, it's digital. You could have done a lot more with that. And it's got a new vocal engine. Well, that wouldn't have been hard because the other thing's 20 years old. I'm sure you could have
20
found
years
some
old, yeah.
algorithms. The looper looks interesting. So that's the pat on the back side that I like. So this is where I'm saying, okay, that was cool. And I do like the little OLED display for editing because a lot of people whinged about even Brooksy was on the show saying, I never liked the editing of the MicroKorg. I never got my head around it. Because it literally was like a stencil and you had your 4 or 5 knobs across the top and then you had to follow the line on the stencil sort of thing. And
So the LED speak too. You have to learn new ways to spell things. So
yeah.
I mean, I love my MicroKorg. I've used my MicroKorg a lot live. In
I've used it
bands.
heaps too, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're great.
and
I
I
love
still want. I mean, I my first one, I sold and got the one with the speakers, which was a mistake because the speakers are pointless. And I've never. In fact, I've permanently switched the speakers off because I asked Luke from Korg how to do that, and he taught me how to do it. Yeah, I mean, I still like the original one. I mean, I'm not,
Mine doesn't have speakers.
yeah. Don't buy the one with the speakers.
I got the original. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
anyway.
like 4 models. I have the original and I have the black plastic one that has the retro look to it.
Is that the XL? The XL.
No, that's the one after that.
Let's watch this,
There's one in
guys.
between. I have.
If you haven't seen this, let's see this anyway. Let's watch this. Watching that video, I mean, let's look at it from I work for Korg. What do I want to show the world? Do you guys get the feeling that they're pretty proud of this?
They didn't show very much.
Yep.
The music demo wasn't.
So
great
so
either.
what's what I want you to think about is what's
No, I don't.
what's the background of this device? What is its true heritage here? It's a synthesizer. Right, so the first thing you want to do is have a really kind of big synth sound coming out of it. Now, I don't know how well you know MicroKorg's synth engine, but they were sounds that I recognised from the original MicroKorg. Plus,
There were, yeah.
there were more voices. You could hear the 8 voices in this. So, and it was multi-timbral. So, you guys might knock demos down, but for a 30-second, 40-second demo. I think they kicked that demo through the park because they showed the guts of this thing and all the benefits probably without the only thing they didn't show was the vocoder, but I mean, you only got 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it sounds amazing. You know, it's actually an improvement, and I'm interested to know what have they done to that synth engine, because that's it's the same as the Radius, the MS2000. That's the same synth engine that we're talking about, the VA engine that was in the MicroKorg, the original one. Have they tweaked it? Have they done anything to it? Do you know anything, Ian?
I don't. In fact, I am so persona non grata with Korg. I found out with everybody else. I got no. They didn't even send me the usual dealer stuff that they normally sent out. So, but they've been doing that. It's been like that for quite a while now. So right. I wasn't surprised. So no, I know more than anybody else. I completely agree with you. I could hear some of the original MicroKorg sounds in there. My gripe is. I'm sure if I got my hands on it, it'd be great. My gripe is the price. You know, you can buy a Korg
$699
for $380 is the sort of normal price at the moment. I think street price. $680 is a bit steep. It's nearly double, heading towards that way. Is it worth twice as much than the original?
How much it for voice, or what's the? So
this is 8 voice. It's still got
voice.
It's still got the two timbres that you can, the 2 layers, the 2 timbres. And the other thing that it's got is the looper. So the editing screen
audio looper, right? Not MIDI looper.
Yeah, so the looper was kind of interesting. I was trying to find a little bit more about it. Like, you know, what is the specs of the looper? I kind of feel like it's just one of those standard sort of style guitar pedal type loopers that you get. That was the feeling I got with it, where you kind of.
This is audio though, because Reface messed up with the MIDI looper. You want an audio looper, so you can really stack.
Oh, sorry, I see what your question is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, I'm on the current the Korg dealer portal at the moment. It's not there, so you know they've launched it, but certainly here in the UK, it's not coming anytime soon. I think you would probably be looking at earliest would be April, maybe.
It's a NAMM thing, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I think it is probably. Yeah, it's a pre-NAMM release. Yeah,
pre-release. Like I said, they're still bringing the original ones in. They're out of stock at the moment, but they're coming in March. Is the Mark 1. So, and I have to say, I think
it's an audio recorder. Andy,
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to answer that question.
Right.
Audio, yeah.
The looper is a recorder which lets you record backing tracks by looping and overdubbing parts of the music. Okay, so it's an audio looper.
Yeah. Okay. I think they'd be daft if they discontinue the original MicroKorg.
Yeah. Okay.
I really do.
It's had a hell of a long run too. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. You know, and it's
what other synth has had a long run? OP1 would be another one that's a contender for being around for a long time.
Yeah.
Access Virus was around for a long time, but I don't think anything's been around quite as long as this. I think this is, the longest. Well, not this, but
when we get our hands on it, it has to be better. It has to be better than the Mark 1 for them to discontinue it. And so we said the jury's out until we actually get to play with one.
See, I'm really comfortable. I'm really comfortable around the MicroKorg. So it's one of those instruments that I've had for a hell of a long time. If you pull this thing underneath and put it in front of me, I would probably be pretty comfortable with it. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And my MicroKorg's probably getting a little bit old in the tooth now, because I've had mine since 2007, 2006. Mine's pretty old. Nothing wrong with it.
That's when I bought my first one. No.
But
also, people hated the layout and the editing. There was a software editor for the original, so.
Yeah, but
I could never get to use that. I did install it.
I know,
in fact, I still got it installed in my
laptop. You're not stuck with the knobs.
It was,
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the knobs. I thought they were intuitive enough. I thought you could get around it pretty easy.
I always thought the original
LED speak sucks, though. Yeah.
Well, your 2-character LED, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because on the SP404, you have a similar problem. Like, what the hell is this trying to tell me with the capital E and a little,
Yeah. I get that. Engine-wise, people are asking in chat, is it the same engine? So it doesn't really say on the website. does talk about the
No.
8 voices. But this is what I was trying to find out. Did they improve the engine at all? And I don't think they have. But anyway, maybe it's purely just... So I used to own a Radius up until early last year, and that was a 24 voice. That thing sounded beautiful, right? And that was one of the things that was wrong with the MicroKorg, because it only had 4 voices, so it kind of ran out of... It could sound quite digital because it kind of ran out of voices, and the more voices you add to something, thickens it up, and you can kind of get rid of some of that digital sort of sterileness out of a voice. Well, this is 8, so I kind of felt like it sounded nice, and that's what I was wondering, whether it's just the 8 voices that sounds nice, or is it have they tweaked the engine? Have they improved the filter? Maybe is the filter a bit higher resolution? These are the things I'd like to know, because they don't say. Why do Korg not say it? Because it's Korg. That's what they're like.
Yeah, exactly. I have an MS2000B, which is fun too. It's the same engine.
Yeah. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if one of us in the future gets their hands on one of these. I don't feel like this is something that is a no. I feel like this is something that's maybe not today, but in the future. You might be walking into a shop and you'll go, okay, the price now is pretty good. Actually, this is pretty good. I might grab one of these. From a performance point of view, they're brilliant. Performing live, they like turn it on,
great.
Bang, gives you exactly what you want straight away.
Yeah.
Well, it was a stepping stone for synth wannabe people too. Like a guitarist would buy it, or a band that wants to add the synthesizer to their setup. They would. You'd see these on stage all the time because they're cheap and portable and they sounded good.
Keyboards are terrible though.
Yeah. Oh, the keyboard
it's terrible, but it's like stepping stone into bigger things. So.
Yeah,
it's usable. It's usable.
Yep.
It's usable for lead work, because I had it on. I had a Cross 2. Cross 2 would be my main keyboard for playing in a band live, and I would use this for soloing.
I hope.
So it was fine for that.
I hope they haven't stuffed the arpeggiator up on it, because that was actually one of the cool features of the MicroKorg.
Yeah,
because you could actually edit the steps of the arpeggiator.
Yeah.
And you could get some pretty decent arpeggiator sort of things out of it. There's a video on my channel about it. All right, we'll keep going with Korg, because I think the next one's Korg as well. So let's do that. Yes, it is. This one is the KingKORG, and they're calling this the KingKORG NEO. It is basically a new KingKORG. Now, let's cast our minds back to when they brought the KingKORG out. It was around about the time that they brought out the mini log, and those sort of synths were coming out, and they brought the KingKORG out. Now, the KingKORG was like a bigger polyphony sort of analog style synth, bigger keypad, but it really peeved a lot of people off, because Korg literally missed out on some of the modulation controls, and it was just kind of missing some like, even like it had one LFO. I mean, I know I sound like a broken record. Go back to my videos 5 years ago, I was still saying the same thing. The KingKORG had one LFO. It was supposed to be like a flagship analog polysynth. There were some really cool things about it. So it was kind of like, you're doing this, but you're doing that. Why do you like tease us so, Korg? So anyway, the good news is the Neo has 2 LFOs. How hard can it be? Hooray!
Don't ask.
Yeah. Other than that, you guys are probably going to be interested in this, maybe more than the MicroKorg. I'm not sure. Maybe you're not interested at all. I'm not sure. But okay. This has got the XMT sound engine in it. It's got a vocoder. It's got 300 programs, 100 user, multiple OLED displays. I might just turn you off for a sec, Eddie, just so I can show you the picture a bit better.
Yeah, please go.
So you've got 3 OLED displays, which is kind of cute. Not sure I don't know. Not really sure. 24 voice poly.
I'm with you.
3 oscillator types. Okay, this is where the KingKORG is probably the same. You had 3 oscillator types in KingKORG as well. So you had analog. Well, this has got, I should say, analog, noise, DWGS, PCMs, and there's also a oscillator type called MkII, which is basically you bring audio in through it and it can use the audio path with some of the effects and filters and stuff, which is pretty cool. But there's actually 138 different types. If you were sort of like to split all those categories up and add them all up together, there's 138 different types of oscillators that you can choose from in that sense. One filter, but there's 18 different model types of filters in that one filter. And you've got an MS-20 filter, you've got a TB303 filter, you've got a Mini Moog, an SEM, a Prophet 5, and I think there's a few others, 18 of course. There's virtual patch systems in this as well, so that's to do with modulation. So inbuilt modulation, virtual patching. So that would be like a firmware, software sort of thing that they're talking about there. And you can split.
Notice that kind of looks like a modal 00 synth.
Yeah, a little bit.
Trying to go for that look a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Switches.
Split layers. I think the KingKORG could split layers as well, if I remember rightly. And arpeggiator, FX, and I mentioned before 2 LFOs. So let's talk about thoughts after we watch Korg's video, because why not? So my quick thought about this was I was always thinking about upgrading my Minilog over the years to the XD, which was the, technically it's a Minilog but better. And I thought to myself, when I was looking at this, I always thought to myself, oh no, I'll get a KingKORG because there's more voices. I think the KingKORG had 16 or 8 voices or something at the time. I can't remember what it was. And the only reason why I never got the KingKORG was because it didn't have 2 LFOs, and it really pissed me off. And I thought, no, I'm going to punish Korg just because they put 1 LFO on. Yeah. But this kind of like might be my new Minilog. I'm not sure if it's going to kind of tick the same boxes the Minilog has always ticked with me. Anyway, what do you guys think?
I like the Minilog. I like the original Minilog, and I had that, and I also had the XD. Obviously, it's in the same case as that whole series of synths. And I think, there's Luke's done a longer video actually, which is worth a look. Which I had a look at this morning. It's about 20 minutes, I think. My only problem with this is price. It should be $599, along with maybe $650, something like that. But the recommended retail price, and I'm looking at it right now, is £949. Now, street price will probably be less than 900, so maybe 870, something like that. It's overpriced. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's a great synth,
it's
but
$1,000
not
US.
at that price.
Yeah.
Not at that price. And here we are again. It's been said on other shows as well. This is probably dominated by Korg's marketing department thinking how much they can get for it, and you know, to some extent, fleecing people, because if it doesn't sell, and let's face it, it's a very competitive market, is £1,000 for a synthesizer. If it doesn't sell, you'll be seeing them being punted out at 600 quid, maybe by the end of the year. You know, I'm disappointed in the price. I really, really am. You know, but hey,
but it makes sense.
Korg bashing again. It does make. I mean, they have to be competitive, and I'm not so sure this is a competitive synth at that price.
No, I mean,
that's
it makes sense because we just came.
Keep going.
We just came from the MicroKorg, which is meant to be the entry-level synth in the Korg universe, and that was what, $600-700, along $600. So this that is meant to be stages way above needs to be proportionally priced up. So if any, I'm with you that the whole price scheme of Korg is totally sounding off. But within their the product line, within their product line, it makes sense. As in, this is this much better, so is this much more expensive. It's just that their roof pricing, as in our best thing is this thing, and everything goes degraded accordingly, is totally not in touch with the market. I'm wondering if it's because they assume, or they want to give room for all the retailers to price down. As in, this is the official, but we don't expect you to sell it at this. We expect you to sell it at 20% or 30% less.
Well,
and we give you room for that.
If you guys just check the chat for a sec, just before you keep going, Wagoo has corrected me, and he's probably in the right position to do that. So the original KingKORG did have 24 voices, and it actually did have 2 LFOs. So I must have been off with the fairies when I thought it only had 1 LFO. Right. I don't know, but definitely I'll stand corrected on that. And it did have 24 voices. I'm literally looking at the Korg website of the original KingKORG, and what I'm looking at here is I'll read you the specs of this. This is the original. So it had 127 types of oscillators, analog, noise, 64 plus DWGS, 30 plus PCM, 50 plus mic-in. So that was literally the same specs as this Neo. So what Wagoo's saying in the chat is this is basically the same board, the same circuit board. He's saying and they've chucked it into a different chassis with a different keyboard. So I mean, Ian, you're probably right, but don't forget the KingKORG's price was quite pricey when that was out as well. So I think
it was. And I mean, talking about the keyboard, I have an issue with the keyboard. The keyboard isn't great for £1,000 synth, you know, because it's the same keyboard as the OPSix and the, you know, about
$1,000.
The WaveState.
Yeah, the KingKORG was about $1,000, but that was the bigger keyboard too. That was the 60.
Yeah, it was the bigger keyboard. 64. It was 64, not I think. I mean, we never sold them, to be fair. You know.
All right, so maybe I was looking into this thing differently. Maybe I was thinking that they've improved this, but it looks like maybe they're just rebadging it.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's a bit lazy.
Although I have to admit that I love the look of it. I would buy it just for the look of it.
I don't like the look of it. I think.
It's kind of sort of 70s sort of.
What about the 3 screens?
That's why I love it.
I mean, the 3 screens.
Yeah, don't get me started on the screen thing.
I don't like the 3 screens. You know, I think there's a better
the original KingKORG had 3 screens on it as well.
Did it?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it for such a long time.
I'm looking at it right now. Let me grab a screen grab of this and I'll chuck it up. I've got to say.
I mean, I like it and I dislike it for kind of the same reason. I dislike it because
it's kind of a yum yuck.
I mean, without the screen, it looks like my sequential Max was built in the 80s.
Have bigger things, clearer things with bigger graphics and more information in one bigger screen. But at the same time, I like it because it helps my head partition what is the job that the screen is doing. So if I want to go to the oscillator, it's this screen, and if I want to go to the filter, it's the other screen at the same time. So I can monitor both at the same time without having to swap screens or change tabs or anything. So I'm equally liking it and disliking it. Yeah, that looks.
Yeah.
So the filter on this is digital, right? This is a digital filter. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah, just.
So this is a hybrid, basically.
Yeah, it is.
And we'll go back to the new one. So the 3 screens are on the old. There's 3 screens on the new. I think Wagoo's on the money. I think. So is the analog oscillators, are they VAs? Are they completely digital?
Yeah, analog, it's all VA. Virtual analog synth, it says.
There we go. So there's no it's all computer chip stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. Micro Mini Log XD Mark II. Whoever said that in chat, it's probably what I'm after.
Yeah.
I like the vocoder that they added a modulation section to it, but they missed a trick because even though the lowly JDXi does pitch to MIDI with their mic, this doesn't do that.
Yeah, so the other one had vocoder, didn't it? Probably just not on the front panel. Okay, so yeah, that's a pretty big. That's a pretty big addition, I guess. Is maybe Korg are just bringing this in line with, someone mentioned in chat, the Gaia 2.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to bring a synth in that competes with the Gaia 2.
But will it?
It looks good together.
I don't know. Well, it's a good question. All right, let's keep going because I'm feeling a little disappointed now.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're not alone there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it looks pretty.
No, we understand. We get it.
Let's talk about this.
Here we go.
This is the vocal performer from Boss, Roland, if you want to know. One of their rebranded things. If you're into guitar pedals, this is actually a vocal pedal. The VE22. This is not the first, by the way. So if you're thinking, oh wow, this is really cool, I haven't seen them do it. They've been doing vocal pedals for a while, and there's actually there's a whole bunch of V series. There's a VE20. So when you watch this video, don't be thinking like, oh, hang on, I've never heard of this sort of stuff. Hang on, what isn't TC Helicon competitor? Not really, because Boss have been doing this for ages. And really what this is probably just a little bit of new firmware that they've done. They're kind of sexing it up a bit with the video, but you get the idea. Here we go.
Ready?
Maybe those old words don't mean anything. I'll prove it to you now. If you'll let me in.
And maybe I'm the kind of girl you see on the subway, on the last train home, and over and out of my mind every time you come calling over and over, falling behind every time you go walking out on me, baby.
All right, let's stop it there. I mean, it's a 5-minute video. We're not going to watch it. But the first thing that I noticed with this, and this could just be maybe a bad choice of algorithms that they've chosen on the pedal at the time, but that vocal harmony, her voice was fine. I'm not knocking her.
Yeah,
The vocal harmony, the vocal harmony was absolutely rubbish. It was absolutely shocking,
really
and the TC Helicon craps all over this.
TC Helicon kicks ass, and it's 10 years older. So
yep. So I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know. You guys, did you guys hear it as well? It just you could hear a really bad pitch down
like,
voice, and it just sounded like
we should not have been able
ringing you on the phone.
Yeah, we shouldn't have been able to pick out the double.
Yeah,
but it's really obvious.
Yeah.
Well, careful. That wasn't a double. That was a 3-part harmony.
It was a 3-part. Yeah.
Roland and Boss is always been running behind TC Helicon ever, probably since the late 90s. But that's not their market. That's kind of the point. Boss and Roland, they're not aiming at professional level artists. good, high-quality singers that want to enhance and sound professional live. Boss is about all the other things that you can apply to voices, as in flanges, phasers, vocoders, robotics, and for what I think, because my singer just bought the older unit. I think it's the VE20 or something.
Yeah, the VE20
a very
is the older
similar
one.
model. It's just
the blue one.
It's silver with I think this one is, I think it's silver.
Silver, is it?
So it's probably another 20, is another number. But Boss and Roland, when it comes to vocal processing, is about making weird noises out of your voices. And apparently what this one is bringing is an easier access to the looper, as in sing your own harmonies, and as in similar to sound on sound looping, basically. But in this product and some other products we have seen together, and I can foresee that more in the even more in the product that we're going to see this year in NAMM. Most of the big companies are rehashing, rebranding, or recasing technologies they had out for a long time. I'm not seeing anything really, oh, look, we've been R&D in this technology for the past 5 years. No, it's the same technology.
Well, here's the VE20.
Nicer case. So no, it's not the 20. It's a newer one. Probably it's the VE200. It's very similar to the line of...
Is it the 500?
If you can show me that, I can tell you.
The 500 is the flagship
totally
one.
Case.
It's like
probably.
Yeah, it's probably the 500. I'll grab this for you. This is...
What's the price on this, Ranzee?
Yep, just one sec. Boss have got a whole bunch of 500 series, by the way. So if you are looking for like their top end pedals, always look for the 500 series. You do pay a lot for them, though. I've got two over here that I use all the time. The delay pedal is amazing. So that's the 500. Okay. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yep.
Yeah. Price, Andy, was where did we go? Where's the boss? $599 US is the MSRP, but it will definitely be cheaper than that.
Yeah,
it'll definitely be cheaper than that.
So again, about 5 or 6 years ago, the Voice Live Touch is about the same price range, a little cheaper, and it's superior. It has a looper, it has the classic TC Helicon stuff that's in the Voice Live 2 and the Voice Live 3. But it also had a mic stand thing where you could actually have it propped up on a mic stand.
Yeah, I like the Voice Live 2. In fact, I think I like the Voice Live 2 more than I like the 3, because they changed
the
interface.
Yeah, I heard the 2's better.
Yeah.
Good. Careful with the lineup from Helicon.
I was just going to say they're $319 UK for that.
Okay.
Street price.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
that's way better. As I said, I was trying to say, careful with the TC Helicon lineup, because I have a Voice Live 0, the original one, the bulky. Yeah. It's huge. The one with the handles. That's how heavy it was. And I've been trying to follow either the Voice Live which is the flagship, and everything they release afterwards, which is the Voice Live Play, the Touch Pro. What they've been doing with the lineup, everything new is simplified. It's making the units dumber and dumber, as in taking the decisions for you. Yeah. So you just plug and do, but you can do what they allow you to do. You cannot bring those units, the cheaper and newer units, you cannot bring into a different style, or to make it, for instance, you cannot have a chorus rate synced with anything, because they don't have the plug. Because, as I said, my singer got the 500 out of a voice, one of those that you can connect on the mic stand. But that one, you could not even decide if you wanted to use the headphones as if you wanted to put... Basically, every time you boot the unit, you had to tell again. It would not even save the status. You had to tell it everything that he needed to do, because it was designed the things to put up or on a coffee, plugs it there, plugs the mic inside that thing, the output to a PA, a power amplified, and does all the music either from a guitar or from an auxiliary mixer. But
We have to move on, Eddie. Sorry,
it's so simplified. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. We've got lots of products to get through.
Yeah.
So, sorry. We can probably, if
My
we've
bad.
got time.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. If we've got time at the end of the show, we can bring it up again. All right, we've got to keep going.
That's okay.
Kaoss Pad.
Ooh,
This is the new thing that they've released for NAMM. It's called the NTS3. This is a kit again. And what this is basically like the Kaoss pad you guys have known. It's an effects unit with the XY pad down the bottom. You can have up to I wrote this down. Where did I say it? Where is it? You can have up to 4 effects at the same time on this. And you've got the knobs there. You go. And at the same time, I've got the old ones sitting around here. The one's red.
Red, yeah, it's red.
Yeah.
Mine's rad.
I've got one of them. Yeah.
Okay, so this is configurable, and there's a SDK for it. There's also you can muck around with the effects itself, and it has like a whole bunch of editing options where you can customize the effects to whatever you want. So this is kind of like a tweaky sort of effects pad thing, bringing in that whole NTS range. 170 US is the street price. I think it's the street price for this.
Okay.
And I do
Very
have a
nice.
video. I do have a video. If I can find my mouse. Here it is. Yay.
Ranzee, take me out. Let everybody see the screen. Take me out.
Take him out, he says.
Thank you.
All right, Korg. You've introduced your product. I know there's other videos, by the way, but you haven't shown anything about what this thing actually does.
Exactly.
No demo.
Marketing
Teaser,
department
teaser.
fail.
There's also another video on how to assemble it.
Yeah.
I got this
that's
little
not what-
one
there was
on how
nothing in
to
that. There was
assemble
nothing-
it as an animation. Check.
Yeah.
How to actually physically assemble it. Check. Do we need to do any more videos? Apparently not.
Well, wouldn't it be nice to know what it sounds like?
Exactly.
I mean,
Apparently not.
I absolutely
Give it to
love
the
my
synth
Mini
influencers
Kaoss Pad
first.
2.
Yeah.
The Mini Kaoss Pad 2 is brilliant. They've been out of stock in the UK for well over a year. Although someone's got one pre-order for 150, and that's the right sort of price. So this is an equivalent sort of price. I mean, my first thought was, if I've already got the Mini Kaoss Pad, why do I need this? But I quite like the fact that you've got 4 separate effects that you can put on. You know, I'm not that bothered about building these things. I've built the other 2. You know, I find that a bit of a pain, if I'm honest, because it's not a proper build, is it? You're not soldering anything. I always think they're a little bit flimsy as well in terms of the build quality of the NTS1 and the NTS.
The case, and they're square and bulky.
Yeah.
This goes in your pocket. It's really sturdy. These are really
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, mine's.
So,
mine's
Andy,
a little
you're going to
bit-
like this. So, we talked about the MicroKorg before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have that too. Yeah.
This is the one I got
original,
for free when I bought my MicroKorg. This is how old this
Oh,
baby is.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I bought that one about my Chaos Later 1,
Yeah,
the yellow one.
Nice.
yeah.
It does look the same, doesn't it?
It's probably, and also I think I had a battery leak in this as well. So, yeah, it's got the rusty battery terminals. Still works though.
Oh, dear.
Fix it.
Watch that. If it extends, you might lose the whole board. And Synth, is the one you have, the red one, the one for effects or the one for synth voices?
This is the Mini Chaos Pad.
It's the red one.
So it's effects. There's also a black one that has a sampling mode in it.
And there's the yellow, which is the synth voice. Yeah.
Yellow is the
yellow
Chaos
is the
Later.
Chaos Later.
Yeah.
Mark 1. There's a Mark 1 and Mark 2 of those as well.
So, is yours
And
called
you can
Mini
totally
KP?
replace that with an app. So
Yeah.
Is yours called Mini KP?
this one is. This is Mini KP2.
No,
So this is the
Yeah,
this is the
it's-
first one that
yeah.
came out.
That's
Mini
the
We've
case
got the
one.
second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually, to protect it in transit, I cut the screen out of the plastic out of the thing and put a rubber band around it, so I can trash it all day and I'll never mess up the screen.
Look, Chris.
So
Yeah.
There's knobs. There's knobs on the front. Wait, hang on, that way. There's knobs on the front
The other one. Yeah.
and on the side.
yeah, and you get the RCA jacks. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
okay.
Kaoss
Yeah,
Letter Pro
great.
had the same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got rid of all my
They're really
Kaoss
good.
stuff in my clean out because I was never using them. I had a KP3, I had a Kaosslator, I had the quad. I got rid of them all because I just never used
I
them.
have the quad. Yeah.
But I actually kept this. This is the one I kept because
Yeah.
It's fun.
yeah, I just think it's like
It's
it's something that you're
So
not going to
if
get
you,
much
um,
for if you sold it anyway. So
No.
People like use a rock
Uh,
on there as like a constant press.
yep,
So you can just put a rock on there and leave it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good.
There is a hold on here.
That's good.
Put
There is a
marble
hole, but
on
some
it.
people move, like put a ball in there and move the ball around.
I think the hold
kinda
button's
fun.
this button at the
Yeah.
front. This one. I think you press that in.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, it is. It's that button.
Question
at the
about
front.
the
Right,
new.
good memory. Yeah.
About the new. What did because I missed it? Did anybody saw the type of connectors that the new one has?
There is some photos.
Well,
I can
it's
bring them up.
5.5,
Yeah, there
I
are some
think.
photos.
Yeah.
In fact, why don't I'll bring up the website. You can have a look at it.
it's just TRS, right?
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
These are min,
And don't get me-
little TRS.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
RCA as a connector to me is the better thing. Is that thing is indestructible, but it's not as common and it's harder to have laying around. Okay,
3.5.
good. TRSs, love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
USB-C,
Well,
which is
that
good.
goes in my bucket list.
It's just.
Okay. Well,
I don't
Yeah.
have any Kaoss-y type paddy type stuff at all,
Yeah.
other than the Kaoss pad on the XD. But so I might be interested in something like this.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they've actually if they have discontinued the Kaoss Pad 2 because, like I said, they've been out of stock for such a long time that I think. I mean, I'd
This
be
will probably
interested
sound
to
better
mess around
too.
with it.
It's upgraded stuff.
Sorry?
Will probably sound a lot better. as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I almost wish it wasn't the kit though, because of the the build quality thing. I wish it was a Kaoss Pad 3 rather than NTS 3.
170
Sorry,
US
just-
guys in
just-
chat.
The portable one.
170 US guys in chat.
Say again, Andy.
The nice thing about
What was that, Andy?
the red one and the handheld one
Yeah,
is
Mhm.
all the input, power jacks and stuff are all at the top. This is designed to be on a desk,
yeah.
which is why they're mirroring the red one he has. So cables
Yeah.
at the bottom, cables
Mhm.
at the top. So you're not supposed to put it on your lap or hold it.
No,
So there's just different use
Mhm.
case.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of
it
the NTS philosophy. It's the
Well,
same
there's-
form factor.
There's another NTS.
Mm.
This one.
There is.
Whoa.
This is the
that's
digital
right.
Mark II. The difference, straight away, the difference is the
Nice.
keys versus the ribbon. Okay, so that's the first one,
Yeah.
which makes sense because it's a synth, right?
Yeah.
So
And it
let's,
says Horg on it. So
it doesn't say hoax. Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Let's have a look at this.
Just to state the fact.
Can we just do the video and
Okay.
then we can talk about it?
Go
Yep.
for it.
Hi everyone, today I'm excited to share the new tech NTS1 Mark II by Korg. This lovely pocket-sized synthesizer, effects processor, and sequencer comes as a kit, making it a fun, fast, and simple DIY project for music lovers. The NTS1 Mark II features a capacitive touch keyboard in a classic piano-style layout. If you want to adjust the octave of the keyboard, simply hold the oscillator button and move your
Yeah, we're not going to go into that, but I just thought I'd just quickly show you that the video goes for 7 minutes. Go, Eddie. I'm going to put you up on the right-hand corner.
No, because I'm assuming it's the same with this and the previous one. It's assembly kit, but in the video look like it's just a plug-in assembly, or is it solder assembly?
No, just plug-in
So you just
assembly.
put it together.
Yeah, you just
Just plug in.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. It sounds very good, but anyway.
Yeah. They're all the NTS stuff are you don't solder them. Yeah. So yeah. A little bit like the works, a little bit like the WorkStat from Moog, kind of similar.
Yeah.
So this is the website. These are the angles of the photos so that you can see the front, the rear. Okay.
Were the originals open sides? The Mark ones?
I can't.
That's the impression.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't actually have
I'm
one.
pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
I've used
got
mine for a
one.
while, but I think
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one there, all right.
There is a new SDK because there's a new processor in this, so just bear this in mind. If you are thinking about getting this, it has a different processor, so it might,
It's not compatible with the first generation.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't. And there's a good video by Loopop actually on it.
Also, Vibes has to do new code for these.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What do you mean?
We haven't gone off air. There was literally just silence.
I was waiting for the tumbleweed there.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going because there's more Korg. Now this next batch, we don't really need to go into the products themselves. We just need to talk about the form factor. I want to keep it short. So we've got new module versions of the WaveState, and I want you to let me just take Eddie off for a sec because I want you to take a really close look at that picture there.
Thank you.
It shows the module, but it also shows something else next to the module. Rack ears. Yeah.
Rack ears.
Really important.
Yeah.
Wiggle, are you watching? So there's the WaveState, there's the Modwave, and there's the OPSix. Now, what the hell are you doing, Korg, releasing a module version of a synth that you've literally just released? Not that, but a Mark II of. Why would you not just make the Mark II module version? I just don't. I just don't get it. But anyway, let's go back to.
They aren't going to be able to do the upgrade, software upgrade to some of the things that's on the Mark II.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool because that's what is that 64 voice polyphony on that, and
that's the one thing they can't do. But they can't do the 64 voice. But that's the one thing you can't do. But what other tweaks they've done, you can actually there'll be a software update available.
Well, anyway, let's.
Yeah, you're right.
I kind of feel like, this has been really, really wanted by a lot of people for a long, long, long time because, most people whinged about the keyboards and these things anyway. I feel that they're quite useful as a module, whether it be desktop or rack, both. I'm kind of, I don't know. I was talking to one of the guys during the week about whether I should buy a WaveState or not, and he's trying to talk me out of it. He thinks the VST version kicks ass, but it's a lot cheaper too. I'm a hands-on guy.
Knobbage, though. You got to have the knobbage.
I'm a hands-on guy, and
knobbage.
You could sit this thing in front of a decent MIDI controller. It's going to be way better or way cheaper than getting the WaveState SE or whatever it's called, the bigger version, right? It's going to be way cheaper than doing that. It's $649 US is the price that I've been given by Sweetwater for this, and for the other two as well. So
they did the usual thing they did for the other ones and knocked $100 off for taking the keyboard off, basically.
But I see the thing for me is that's $100 I probably wouldn't have wanted to spend anyway. So because I never really liked the keyboard on those things. I'm sure.
No, but they are self-contained units you can move around. So.
Yeah, I don't know if the rack ears come with it, but why wouldn't they? Would be the question I would ask.
What?
Why wouldn't they? Would be the question I would ask. Yeah,
they must.
Yeah.
But it's in the picture. They got to.
That's the whole point of it.
It's in the picture, isn't it?
There's some sort of a stand, wasn't there, on the video for it? There was just some sort of a stand.
Yeah, let's have a look at the vid. We'll get that up. Actually, it's probably not a bad idea.
I'm hoping that comes with it too.
Natalie, come on, show us what you're made of. Let's get Natalie up.
Yeah. Hello, Natalie.
Hi, Nat.
Everyone, Natalie here to tell you that at last the wait is over. Our beloved digital synths, WaveState, OPSix, and Modwave are now available as modules.
I want to see that little rack stand that they've got. You know, the three-tier one? Did they show it in this video?
Series.
They do. They
These
do. It's
compact
brief,
modules are
but I did
perfect
pause
for a
it
variety of
as
musicians,
well.
from composers and producers who primarily use computers and MIDI controllers,
knobs on the
to
side.
keyboardists with a dedicated keyboard controller they love, to anyone wanting hardware synths as their sound source.
Hang on, wait. Just look at that. They look really sexy. Like seriously, I'm not talking about Natalie here. Sorry, Nat.
She's pretty cool too.
She also does, but not the point.
It's also lighting. Look at the lighting they use.
She's okay.
So.
But that looks awesome. Imagine that little sort of trio sitting on your, you know. Anyway, watch a little bit further because they show
as their sound
they show
In addition
this.
to the WaveState, OPSix,
That
and
looks
Modwave
cool
software
on your
versions
desk.
being available as native plugins.
I like this.
These new modules offer the hands-on experience of crafting your own sounds by tweaking knobs and manipulating sliders. And for ultimate flexibility, patches and programs are
look at that
interchangeable between
WaveState.
modules and their plugin counterparts, allowing you to work across platforms
Don't get me
effortlessly.
started.
Each module can be customized to your unique needs and
Want.
workspace. Mount them in a 4U rack case.
That's
using
the one.
included
That's the picture.
attachments for a clean,
That's
integrated
it.
setup.
Yeah.
The thoughtful design ensures cables don't interfere with
There it
other
is there,
equipment,
guys.
even with an
Look at that.
densely packed rack.
Name the DAW. Quick,
Yep.
quick. Name it. What's the DAW?
That's
Cubase.
Ableton Live?
No, it's not
No, that's
Ableton.
not Cubase.
Looks like Logic.
Is it?
No, it's Cubase.
No,
it's
is
Logic.
it?
There you go.
If it's Cubase, it's the
not
new
Logic.
one, the one I don't have yet. But I don't think
not
because it's an
For
app.
desktop
Well,
use, adjust the panel to a 15
There
or
you go.
45-degree angle for optimal comfort and
That is so cool. Sorry,
Wow,
Korg, but you
that is
guys have
great.
kicked it in.
it is.
You've kicked it out of the park this particular
Yeah,
time.
man.
Yeah.
I really, really like this.
Yeah, man.
And all they have done is literally just re-release something that they've already released in a better sort of way. They should have probably done it in the first place, just like what Modal did with the Argon series, the Cobalt series. See, Modal, they're not stupid. So who here, put your hand up if you're going to be getting a module version of one of these. Yeah,
Eventually.
yeah. And
Modwave for me.
it's just almost getting to that like Roland Boutique stuff again, isn't it? We collect them all.
Oh yes. Not
But
bad.
on a proper size.
Yeah. Shivers,
Yeah, a bit nicer.
I need to get and address a couple of people in chat that have been very, very generous. So we have seen Stephen Smith put $10 through. Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks, buddy.
And I saw one before. Goo put a £6.66 through, the number of the beast. Good on you, Wigoo.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you to those two gentlemen for that. That was awesome. Right, so Instabuy, I reckon. Instabuy. Jeez, look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Yeah.
It is. Finally.
Good industrial design.
Please, everybody, please, keep going. You other manufacturers, go rack. Please go rack. Please.
Oh, do you want to look at rack?
I mean,
Let's look at the next product.
Yeah.
You ready?
Bring it on.
Oh, mate, I've got a rack
I
to
am.
show you. Ready?
Show me.
Set. There. Look at that.
Jesus Christ. How many of those are there?
I'm just going to full screen that because I can. I'm going to get you off.
Yeah, please.
Hey, wait.
Yeah,
Come back.
Yeah.
Out of there.
Yeah.
Pause.
One less. That's the one.
That's the one.
That really needs a man
1,
standing
2,
next
3,
to it.
4, 5, 6,
Scale.
7, 8, 9,
There's-
10, 11, 12. 13.
There are 8
14.
rows. There are 8 rows of 3U. So this is
Of twos.
this is Eurorack, right? 8 rows of 126 HP. So I want you guys to do the math there. How many HP is that? And the power supply in this sucker is 12 amps. It is €1,750 to buy. It's aluminium, so it's gonna be lighter than like full on steel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of clever. But let's go back here and
Options are way
let's
enough by
reset.
themselves.
Reset. There we go.
Ah, Erica. Okay.
This is one of those. I don't care about getting a sore shoulder or doing my neck muscles in. I just want to fit all my Eurorack modules into one chassis. This is it. This is for you. Look, €1,750 is. It might seem like a lot of money, but when you think about it, eight rows, right?
Yeah.
Each row being 3U each. That's a lot. That's a lot of configuration. I am concerned a little bit about the depth of it, though. It does look a little bit thin from about tier.
But first to me, it's going to be open back.
It could
Is
be.
it?
I don't know. There's no other photos of this thing.
No. it's
Erica,
just
bring
tin.
some more
Okay.
photos out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Please do.
yeah.
Because it would make sense if it's just
Not
one
light-
of those structures with side panels and syncing bars, as in the not syncing, linking bars, instead of a whole furniture cabinet with a back and a top size and everything.
Yeah, maybe. I'd like to see. No, it's definitely real. It's definitely real. This is Erica Synths. So you go to their website. It's up there already. You can order it in their shop. I'm a massive fan of Erica Synths in general, and if I ever had the money to just blow, like, there'd be a Ferrari at the front, I guess. But I would buy a rack just with their modules in it, just because hey, you can, and it would sound awesome because they make some good stuff. I've little Black Series modules that they do are brilliant, really, really well built too. Their gear. So anyway, so that I just thought I'd show you that.
Included the power.
Yeah, everything's included. So you've got the
Wow.
lights as well up the top are included.
Wow.
The 12 amp power supply. The
Wow.
yeah. So
Only 700.
€1,750. Yep.
The nuclear
Only.
power station costs extra though.
Yeah. 12. Do you know what? 12 amps is going to cost you in your utility bill.
Can you imagine the size of the extension cord you've got to use?
No, but I'm just thinking. I'm thinking, Chris, like, when you turn the power on in your studio, it's just going to trip the fuse every time.
The lights spin. The air conditioner goes.
Go out to the fuse box every time and just get that fuse back on again.
Oh, come on, guys, get serious. We're talking 12 amps of what? 15 volts?
No. 12. No, so Eurorack is 12 plus minus 12 volt plus 5 volt. So your amperage will be shared across that. And obviously, usually with a Eurorack power supply bus, they put the most current through the 12 volt rail, and usually the 5 volt has a small trickle going through it. Usually it's either an amp or half an amp or something.
Yeah. Exactly. As I said, 700 quid for all that Eurorack real estate, to me, with powers included, to me is really, really affordable.
Yeah, I think it is too.
It is very, very affordable. It's crazy affordable.
I do think they'll sell a lot of these. I would like to get one. The postage is going to be killer, though.
It is, but if it's flat pack, it might
Okay.
deliver a bit better. But
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think
It
it'd
could
be
be
too
just-
hard to put together.
no.
No, exactly. I bet you
Cases
it's
are
just side
expensive.
panels, base, and linking rods. That's how I would do it
I could see that
for
sitting
that
right
price. Oh yeah.
There. 1,700 is 1,750 euros is what I said, guys. 1,750 euros. So Rocky,
Okay.
1,700.
All right.
Yeah.
Now it's regular world. It's
bit
not
more
affordable. It's
reason-
just
Yeah.
regular.
I think you must have misheard me.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so Pat
some
Brady,
purchase.
the 1,750 price is ex VAT. So what you're seeing on Toman for the, we'll just go to the chatties because they're talking prices in there.
Is
That is including your VAT. That's why it's that price. But work out ways of buying it without VAT, and you can get it for 1,750. Like what Australians will be able to get it for.
10%.
Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, we have no. But if we bought that, Chris, we would lose that. We'd get the VAT discount, right?
Yep.
But we would have to pay GST, and then we'd have to pay import tax on it.
That's right, because it's above
might be
500.
more then.
It's above
Australian
$1,000. Yeah.
5,000. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeps on going up.
So you'd be looking at
Sorry.
The
guessing
20%.
you'd be looking at probably about 200 to 300 Aussie dollars just for the import duty.
Mhm.
And then you'd be looking at $170 for the GST.
And
Actually, not $170, whatever that. Sorry, it'd be more like $300 GST, wouldn't it? It'd be about that. So you'd be looking at about $500 in taxes and duties just to get that sucker over here, and then a postage on top of that.
This is why when we buy sometimes we buy equipment here locally, it's a little bit more expensive than if you do the currency conversions and even on a crappy PayPal rate, because they've had to spread across their whole store that import duty.
Yeah.
Of all the stuff that they import, so which adds up to a large amount when you get one shipment in. Of,
exactly.
1,000 Erica modules, and it's like, oh, why do I have to pay that much for my little module? Well, it's because they imported 20 of them.
Yeah. And and I mean, like guys like Found Sound, in Melbourne, they are generally, like, if you looked at their reverb listings and stuff like that, they're generally quite pricey. But if you sat there and you did your, like, okay, so I want to buy a module from Thomann, and then I'm going to ship it over, and Thomann charge, like, I think a minimum of $50 to ship for a tiny little Eurorack module. And by the time it comes over, and you've got that, you might as well just get it from Found Sound, because it's probably going to be about the same price, and they've got them in stock, and it's only overnight bag.
Which is exactly what I do when they're in stock.
Yep.
I also like to support a local store, because there actually isn't really any other modular stores in the whole country. So we've got to support
our dollar's doing pretty good at the moment, though. So if you want to buy something from the US, and Perfect Circuit are a good place to get stuff from for Eurorack. They're a good little bunch of guys too. I was literally about that close to, I didn't have the money in the bank account, really. That was what stopped me. But I was that close to pressing Insta-buy on something from Perfect Circuit the other day. Because by the time I did all
come to the US and hang out
postage
there.
and everything, it was still cheaper than buying it here.
Wasn't the low pass gate perchance, was it?
No, it was something else. It wasn't
not something.
Support your local music store before they disappear.
In where I live in Perth, and Chris as well, the only local music store that stocks Eurorack is a place called Store DJ in Perth. There's bad examples of modular, like with Mega Music and some of those other places that are around our city, but really the only place you can get now. Store DJ are a national store. I think they're called Manny's. It's their real name, but it's their, like, a brand that they've got shops in all over Australia. And the good thing about Store DJ is that they are pretty competitive on price. And if you do want to buy something from them and they don't have it in your local shop here, you literally would just go in there and say, right, I want blah, blah, blah. And they'll say, okay, well, we've got it in stock in Brisbane. And within a few days, they'll bring it over to you for free.
And there's free shipping,
Yep.
Even when you order online, it's free shipping.
So that I like. And, you do pay, but, it's that sort of thing. It's kind of handy. So when we say local, we do have local music stores here, like are literally mum and dad business music stores, and I do know some of the owners of some of them, and they're great for going in and getting your violin tuned, or restrung your guitar, or buying a guitar pedal, or buying a piano book because your kid has a certain music lesson that he wants to learn, blah blah blah. That's what they're really really good at. But
that's where the money is. That's where they're, and especially if they're doing lessons as well.
But in terms of like Eurorack and synthesizers and stuff like that, it's a different world. And you go into those mum and dad music stores, they think you're talking gobbledygook when you're asking them questions like that. They really do.
Well, it's funny when we had the shop. I mean, that was the one area that was not covered at all till we took over. And actually, when we sold it, the guy we sold it to was a guitarist, and we just dumped all that sort of
You got rid of it.
That's why I kept the Korg.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't try to work on sell something you don't know much about.
Yeah, it's something you don't know anything about. Yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be a store here in Perth. Well, it's still here, but it's a different owner now, and I'll go into that in a sec. But it was called Cosmic, and Cosmic's still here, but they've been bought out by a South Australian business that is part of the Billy Hyde group of music stores in Australia. And but the people that used to own Cosmic were literally a mum and dad family, and they had it for many years. And the guy just got old, and he just I want to retire, so he sold it. But before he did, you'd be able to walk in there, and they had a really good what they called the tech department, which was all synthesizers and DAWs and interfaces, music and MIDI and all that sort of stuff. And they had a really good section in there, and kind of I bought many pieces of equipment that are still in the studio today from Cosmic. Yeah. But I haven't bought one thing from Cosmic since they've changed owners. Not one. Because it's a different world. And they are more like the mum and dad music store, which is, gazillions of guitars, gazillions of pedals, books, drums, all that standard stuff that the kids want. But they do have synthesizer stuff there, but you go in there and it's just not the same. It's not the same as what they used to be. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just not the same.
No, it's just not the same.
Yeah, and we live in a different world. The synthesizer world is seriously completely. It's almost like we don't even belong to the normal music world because we're quite interesting people. We have to know a lot about computers. We have to know a little bit about electronics. We have to know a bit about engineering because we have to understand waveforms and physics and things like that. So we are a different world, and I kind of feel like guitarists kind of like to dabble a little bit in the electronic stuff and as well.
Well,
which is
of course we know what it means when a knob goes. We know that a knob that goes up to 11 isn't louder than a knob that goes up to 10.
We're just broken.
That's the difference.
But he just goes up to 11.
Someone's just got the wide out. Wrote an 11 on the amp.
Expertise in keyboards depends on the actual people they hire, not their normal practice. So I've had guitar centers I've gone to where they're excellent. Most of the time they're just warm bodies that don't know shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, I mean, the guy didn't know what MIDI was, what MIDI in was, and
So, like some of the guys in chat, like Stephen was saying, Found Sound are not pricey. They're not. Sometimes they're really competitive on some things, but sometimes and maybe they just haven't updated the price on some of their gear. But if you do shop around, sometimes it's worth checking them out.
They've also done a few tricky things to me in terms of pricing and waiting for something to go out of stock before they drop the price back down suddenly when it's out of stock.
Yeah,
which is a bit of a bit on the nose, but that's it's a business.
Yeah. One thing that annoys me.
It's not to do that.
Do you when you guys look for stuff on Google, right? And you know how it's got that shopping, you don't, not the tab where you go into the shopping, but it's got that little block at the search results that show you the shopping. One thing that really grates me is that if you've got a retail store and they are listing whether something is in stock or not, and it will show on the Google shopping that it's in stock. So you go in and you go, oh, cool, so-and-so's got one. So you click on it and it's still in the Google thing, it still says it's in stock. But then you click on it again, it takes you to the website of the shop that's got it, and it says out of stock. And you're like, can't they just update that? Like, this is probably a Google problem, right?
I had that exact experience the other day, and I had the same thought of, why can't? And I thought, well, it's probably because every single online store has a different way of expressing their stock levels. I mean, think about Store DJ; they have it by the individual store number, individual store, whether it's a stock. And another online store, it was a different sort of front end. One was a Shopify, and sometimes it's a proprietary one, and they just show their stock levels differently. I think it's hard to
A lot of
keep track
corporate
the
places will
program
block
and stuff.
those one-click things because you also get sneaky stuff coming through there too. So
Yeah. Oh, especially in
those,
the
like,
in the
those will
computer
not
businesses.
work in a corporate environment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if you're selling graphics cards. Do you remember that graphics card gate of like what was that 2000 or whatever it was, where you literally couldn't buy a graphics card for about 2 years or something.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
crazy. Yeah.
There's a lot of scams going on too.
But by the way, you know how you guys, so you guys are all over the world, right? So, I mean, I know Ian and Eddie are from the UK and Andy's from the US, and what you guys are watching, you're from all over the world. In Australia, we've only just got delivery of the Behringer Pro VS and JT 4000. So how long ago did a Behringer announce they were in stores? That just gives you an example.
4 months.
I mean, if I really, really wanted
I
something, I would have to buy it overseas and ship it down to get it like at the same time as when you guys get it, because that's the difference. We're talking at least 3 months, I reckon it was, between when
You
people
really
would-
are at the end of the world, aren't you?
We really are.
You guys.
And I'm not talking about
But
where
hold on,
in
you
my
didn't tell us
city.
if you bought
I'm
them.
talking about the whole of
You know
Australia.
you want them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
crazy.
it's the same thing with restocking, because they know this. They know about this delay, but they don't stock in advance. So they let that delay be part of their restocking. So even though you know they know it's going to run out here, and they know that it's going to arrive here, they act like it's going to arrive there sooner, because that's what the ETA that the manufacturer gives them.
yeah.
So they just don't keep the stock, which is, so you end up with like some modules or something from Behringer, like one of their cheaper modules, and it's out of stock for 1.5 years.
Yeah, it's a completely different paradigm nowadays with the internet, because all the timing of all the product deliveries and R&D is totally different. Because even more when you talk about Eurorack or smaller builders, they're looking for pre-bookings. They want to know how many people is interested, so they can know how many they need to build. Because we've gone 360 degrees. It's before you only order what was on the shop. Oh, you went to the shop, look at, try it, and you order one. And the paradigm that, to my understanding, is they build the prototypes or a very short run, as many as shops were dealers. And from then on, then they did the second run with all the orders of the customers. But now the customer knows that the device is coming before even the manufacturer has started building it. So they need to work on a completely different schedule.
Yeah. So a couple of questions in chat. Man with Beard said, what's the biggest synth retailer in Australia? I would probably say it's Store DJ. I think that would probably be a safe thing to say.
Quantity.
Yeah, because they've got more stores in all the cities.
Exactly. Yep. And they got that online warehouse.
But
Back them up.
I don't know. Sounds easy. Do a fair bit. Do a fair bit.
Second,
But they're more like they're a bit like a Sweetwater. They're just online. They do have a retail front in Sydney though. Wagoo's worried about the edge of the world and things like that. So I mean, basically, there is a wall of ice on the edge of the world. No, I'm just kidding.
Illustration.
So anyway, let's get stuck into another segment we've got, which I think honestly you guys are going to enjoy this week, because we've got some beautiful auctions and stuff to show you. No scammers. I don't think there's any scammers. But Eddie.
Oh my god. Yeah, bring it on.
This is for you, bud.
Full screen.
Bring it full
man.
screen. All right, we'll do full screen for you.
Please.
Not that one. What did it go there
not that
for?
one.
Hang on. I don't know why it's doing that.
Oops.
Oh, it's on the
Slipper
Mac.
of the mouse. Okay.
I've got to get it to not play though. Don't play. Okay, here we go.
So, here we go.
The Roland GR 500 guitar synthesizer with the GS 500 guitar and the 24-pin cable.
Yeah, man. Because If not, if you don't have the guitar, you have nothing.
Well, yeah.
In fact, it's a unit. It's tethered by a wire, but it's a unit. It's the same. It's two parts of the same thing. I don't think the 500 can work from the CV trigger or gate, and the guitar does definitely not work without the 500.
Let's have a look at the
Price.
live.
What is?
Let's have a look at the live website.
Is that American or
literally,
Australian?
It is based in. Trying to find it.
Washington.
US, right?
East Sound, Washington, United States.
So it's $3,950 US. I would say it's fair on the pricey collector side, because that thing is just a collector's item at this point. It doesn't sound any better than anything else in history.
What type of
It's
guitar is that?
just the fact that
Is that like a? Is that a Les Paul?
it's okay.
Les Paul.
Yes,
It is a Les Paul, isn't it?
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was manufactured by Fuji Ken, which is the same factory that does Ibanez.
Okay, so it's basically an Ibanez.
It's a Fuji. Yeah, it's a Fuji Ken guitar made expressly for Roland, because they have to basically take out tons of wood out of it to allow for all the electronics to go in, and the special pickups and blah blah. And the connector, if you can show the connector, that thing is bonkers.
Well, the one I had was
They have to.
the one I had was a Fender. Mine was like 2010 or whatever it was. I sold it now.
Yeah,
though.
that was miniaturized in comparison.
Yeah.
Is there a picture of the bottom of the guitar? Oh, look at that shit.
Wow.
I can see if it has a CV and gate, but I don't expect so.
Look at the electronics in it.
It might have some kind of clock syncing.
Oh wow, you could actually follow the electronics in this thing.
Exactly, you could actually understand that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have room to breathe. So if you keep scrolling, is there any more pictures?
No picture.
So if you can show the one where the guitar is showed from the back.
That one.
you mean the
That one. So look at the upper my left corner. That flat surface, that flat angle.
Yep.
On the top corner, that is the
Oh my
connector.
God.
All of that is the connector.
Oh my god! It's like a multi-core in the
It's bonkers.
studio.
They don't show the cable, do
I
they?
think
It's a 20-pin cable. It's quite chunky, isn't it? The cable.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's XLR size pin.
Okay.
It's not the electronics computer size pin. Yeah, and wait, if that guy does not have the cable, the whole lot is useless.
Yeah, it says it's got the cable. It does say on the listing
could
it's
be.
got the cable. It says it comes with a 24-pin cable. It's the factory cable. It is in good condition. I do agree, because looking at the photos, you can tell it's got the hexaphonic pickup.
Yeah.
It's got the he's saying the guitar hasn't been modified as far as he can tell. I don't think it has either. From what I remember, they look like they originally looked like that. But if you're wondering when they actually made this thing, they made this thing in 1978. So that's actually, when you think about it, that technology would have been pretty groundbreaking in 1978.
Except that 3 years earlier, ARP released the Avatar. I think,
the Avatar
or the Accent. That was I'm not sure, because I haven't.
The Avatar had
researched
problems, though, right?
Far enough.
The Avatar had
Yes.
worse problems than this did.
Yes. Yeah, the Avatar, I think, was 2600s in a case.
Yeah.
That's why the problems and the heat and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think the Avatar was the really groundbreaking first hexaphonic pickup and guitar synthesizer in history. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I want to know if I'm wrong.
I think you might be right. I think it was. And
As I said, I need to
Behringer
research more,
and
because-
Behringer are talking about making it again, so it might be coming back out. And they were going to.
Wait, what?
Yeah. There was something last year about it. Go back through my shows, you'll find it. They were talking about actually fixing. There was a big issue with it, and they were talking about fixing that issue. It was to do with the
The triggering.
the latency, the triggering. But they've already got the circuits. They've already got the circuits for the 2600. They've already done that little eurorack module that we showed a few months back.
I'm losing you.
What's it called? I'm having mental blanks tonight.
So,
I can't remember.
to my knowledge, these units, Avatar, Axe 500, and almost up to the next generation, like in 2 or 3 years later, they had no latency issue. The issue they had is what with the triggering and mistriggers, because the harmonics were triggering notes that they were not meant to sound. So that's one of the reasons why the technology didn't spread like wildfire.
PP1.
Not back in the day. The what?
The PP1, Rance, is
The
what
PP1, I'm trying
Rance
to
is
find
talking
it.
about.
It's in my drawer.
Oh, I got
Perfect
news about the
pitch one,
PP1
good
if you want to know.
Yeah, I know you got a PP1.
I got a very funky news about it.
Oh, there it is. Why did I not see? I was expecting the box to be smaller. I'm trying to find the box because it's actually quite small.
It's chunky.
That little thing.
Yeah.
Boxes. Yeah. They need to do something about their packaging.
Want me to tell you my side of that story, that module?
Yeah, it's going to be less than half an hour. Go for it.
No, hopefully it's going to be 2 minutes. Remember that I bought one?
Yes.
I even did a series of three live streams showing the whole process. Mine came with a miscalibration because on guarantee, and I wanted to know the reaction of Behringer to it. They asked me to send the unit back. I sent the unit back. They had it in the shop trying to fix it for 3 to 4 months. And after that, I said, oh, we're going to take longer. Sorry, Behringer never contacted me. All my communication was with the retailer, in this case, Undertones, which they had a sterling reaction to it. I have no complaints about Undertones at all. They updated me the information. This is going to take longer. What do you want to do with it? And I said, oh, okay, if you cannot have it fixed in a month, one more month, as in have it by the end of the year, what else can you do for me? And said, it's not going to be fixed before the end of the year, and we'd rather just refund you. And that's what happened. They refunded it to me because they could not fix the problem.
But why were Andertons? I don't know if I want to get into this, but why were Andertons trying to fix it? And they could have just sent it to Behringer to fix. Like literally, my dealings with Behringer have been exemplary. Like any issue I've had with any of their products, I've basically just emailed Behringer, and they've come back to me and gone, send it back to us, and we'll swap it or we'll refund you or whatever. It's been that quick.
That's exactly. Yeah, that's what I was expecting, but what I found out is that Undertones got told by Behringer, because you're the power distributor of Behringer in UK, you get your own tech guy to fix it locally instead of sending it back.
Right.
And
so this is kind of like
this
is like the Thomann. This is the Thomann arrangement that they've got. Yeah, I get it now. That makes sense.
Normally what happens is that the retailer has. Is the intermediary between you and the
manufacturer. Absolutely.
Warranty.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But obviously, if you are
kind of story,
if you are the main, sorry, go on, Andy.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, if you are the main UK distributor or retailer, then it's a slightly different relationship, and they need to have. And Andertons have got their own tech guys, so that's why. We're trying to fix it.
So
all right,
the end
let's
of my
keep going.
story is I don't have a PP1. I'll have to buy it again.
Okay. Well, maybe I can organise to get you one. We'll see what happens. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you about it offline.
Yes.
Okay. Next is this one, the Korg 800 DV.
DV. Yeah.
The DV. Yeah. Now, what do you guys know about this?
Never seen it.
So this is a duophonic synthesizer. Right.
It was basically it's two 700s.
Two 700s. Yeah, well done, Ian.
Wow.
Done well. Why are you not down the bottom, Ian? How did that happen?
I am down the bottom.
Down the bottom underneath the screen.
Yeah, it's weird. Like Eddie's now there.
Sorry.
It is now. It doesn't matter. We'll go to the live auction, which this one is eBay, 2,900. This one is in Silver Spring in Maryland. How many hours drive is that from you, Andy? Do you reckon?
Maryland?
Yeah, Maryland is miles away.
It's 3,500 miles from here.
Yeah, that's a long way, isn't it?
Shit.
At least,
pick-
because I
just
did
to pick
a
up.
cross-country trip to DC one time, here and back, and it was about 7,000 miles loop trip. So
That's a big trip, man. That's a big trip, and just to get
it was fun.
an
Did it in 2
800.
weeks.
Now, what would be missing on this? Is there anything missing between this and the 700? I reckon it looks like there's some couple of controls missing.
It'd be a 700, not a 700.
Oh, okay.
S,
Yep.
I think.
Not the 700S. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just the voices,
That's what I
basically. Yeah, I get you. I
Yeah.
get you.
Sorry, I just noticed one thing on the picture that is funny to me.
Yes. This would actually sound pretty decent, to be fair. I actually do like the 700 sound. I think we were talking about it
Me too.
last
Just
week.
bought one. Bought the FS.
And I was saying that, Ian, I think you were there, weren't you? I was saying that there's quite a lot of music that you think, wow, I love that bass sound. And you think, oh, I can't get that bass sound on my Mini Moog. Why can't I get it? And it's not. It's because it's not. It's a 700 that it's making it.
700, yeah.
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 Anyway, there's that one. So if you are in Maryland in the US, you could pick yourself one of those up. It's on eBay.
It's not a bad price, really.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
isn't it?
No,
Yep.
no,
Sounds good
that's-
to me.
I think that's
For
fine.
two 700s.
Speaking of Moogs,
Yeah.
what about this one? The Moog Sonic 6. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah, it's not
Negative
usually
heard of it,
Nope.
but I've
It's
never-
not that
I've
well
never
talked
seen
about,
it.
this
nothing.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Australian dollars, so halve it for pounds-ish. £3,500 ish, somewhere around there. Up for grabs is his favourite Moog. He's talking about why he wants to sell it.
Sorry. It's 3K.
It's got missing slider caps and things like that.
Oh, but so was the previous one. Is that still monophonic?
So the specs of a Moog Sonic 6 is kind of interesting. So this is kind of like a weird, one of those weird Moog sort of situations, right? So this came out in 1972, somewhere around about then, and it's got the vinyl.
That's what the other says.
It's got the vinyl case, so it's like a synthesizer built into a case. I'll show you a picture of the case in a sec when we scroll through. You have two VCOs, but it's duophonic. So you can use each VCOs in two separate voices. It's got your standard standard Moog sort of style with sawtooth, triangle, pulse waveforms, and it's got pulse width, but only on the second oscillator. Two LFOs. It's got the 24 dB standard Moog filter. The VCA is an attack, decay, sustain, or release. So this is kind of similar to the way that Moog were doing things in the early 70s with their envelope generators, right? Built-in keyboards, 49 keyboard, no sequencer or arpeggiator. There is CV gate control on it. And what was the one that I was thinking about with this that was making this interesting? It was okay, that's what it was. It was designed by an ex-Moog employee for the MkII brand. So yeah, so it's kind of like a weird. So MkII was actually bought out by Bob Moog.
That rings a bell, actually.
Yeah.
When I read the Bob Moog book, actually.
Yep. That's what was making this thing kind of weird.
Yeah.
So they had this thing called a Sonic V, and then they retweaked it and they made the Sonic 6, which is actually a real Moog synth. But that they picked up all the designs and everything from the MkII's business when they acquired
the
it.
pitch wheel goes sideways instead of vertically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I
Well,
said,
it's not the only one in history.
like I said, it's not it's
Back
not
then it was.
it's not something that you hear a lot about, the Moog Sonic 6. And I like how they kept the Sonic name as well, because that's obviously a nod to the, you know, the fact that it's a MuSonics brand. So it does look, Steve reckons it looks knackered. It does look tired, but I mean, mate, I look knackered. It's a year younger than me, so you know. And I haven't had piss and vomit on me every gig.
You haven't been gigging for that whole time.
but,
So, what would the 6 referring to then? If it's not polyphony, or is it the 6th iteration of it?
Yeah, it was the 6th, because the Sonic 5 or Sonic V came from MuSonics, and so this was the next iteration, so Sonic 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it really is confusing, because I thought, oh wow, did Moog make a 6-voice polyphonic synth? No, they didn't.
In 72.
Yeah. Okay, next one we've got
The Lost
is
Link.
this one, which I showed earlier, but it's, you know, now we can talk about it.
Yeah.
It's the EML EMS 500. Now, do you guys remember this thing? This thing's like the aluminium beauty with the wood side, you know. So $7,000 Australian if you want it. It is in San Fran. There you go, Andy. Go spend, what is it, about
oh, sure.
5,000
I'll
US?
just walk right over and get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this a little bit. So the EMS 500 Electro Comp. Just got to get that page back up again.
Well, the first thought in my head is trying to look like an Odyssey.
So it's a it's a 2 VCO monophonic analog synth with 3.5 octaves, 44 note, F Type C keyboard. It's designed to compete with the Mini Moog and the ARP Odyssey at the time. And so let's go to the live auction while we're doing this anyway, because we can click on the graphics while we're talking about it. What else can I tell you?
Very short growth.
It's semi-modular because you got those connections up the top on the left-hand side. The VCO outputs only a sawtooth or a square wave, and it does have a resonant multi-mode VCF, which is switchable between low pass, band pass, and high pass with a single ADS envelope controller. But this thing with this, there's not a lot of these around, right? And what I would like to know is, because they don't tell you about this sort of stuff in articles, right? But what I would like to know is how much of this was staying in tune, because they say, oh, this competed with the ARP Odyssey, or this competed with the Mini Moog. Well, the Mini Moog used to go out of tune and people used to get shitty with it. So then they'd go down to the music store and go, I'm so sick of tuning my Mini Moog. Sell me something that doesn't go out of tune. The guy would go, oh, you need an ARP Odyssey. And so they were like flying off the shelves, right?
That's right.
So what was the EMS 500 like? Did that go out of tune? So, yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Is Kent in the house?
Devo used this. This is who I was trying to think who used it. Devo.
Okay.
And I don't know how famous. Like, I don't know if this is in Whippet or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how famously they used it. Yeah. Is kind of what I'm trying to say.
Whether used often or just in one song in one track.
Yeah, yeah.
On a B-side or a...
They mostly use like Mini Moogs and Jupiter 8s and, you know, stuff like that. On videos, anyway.
Anyway, there's that. What else have we got?
Good to know. Thank you.
You've also got this one, which is a Korg Poly 800. Now, you guys have seen these since for many, 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 many years. They've been around, but
I haven't seen that colour.
I haven't seen this colour, and I haven't seen one for over $1,000 Australian. That's for sure.
It's
and
modified too.
I'm trying to think to myself, why would I spend that sort of money on a Poly 800? Because
Poly 800, yeah.
they are certainly not worth over $1,000 Australian.
Yeah, there's a lot of mods.
Nope.
And there's stacks of them, by the way. They'd probably be in the attics and garages of many houses around the world. Korg sold a lot of these.
That was the first synthesizer I carried on a bus.
Oh yeah. There's a lot, but guys, there's a lot to love about this.
Everyone remembers their first.
So, do you guys know about the oscillator in this? I love the oscillator in this. The oscillator is so cool. So basically, it's a square wave.
Additive square waves.
It's an additive square wave. Yeah, you got it right. So for you to make a sawtooth, you literally go and watch my 960 video. That's basically how you make a sawtooth.
Yeah, it is good fun.
Literally,
so digital.
You literally
Real
build
very
the harmonics of a square wave at different amplitudes to make a sawtooth wave. And I'll leave you thinking about that for a bit. It's pretty ingenious actually, and they also have a really cool envelope generator in them as well. So not only does it have a cool oscillator, but it also has and that oscillator, because it's so funky, the sawtooth sounds really, really bitey, and it bites through that the VCF on this.
Yeah, it's got slightly more high end than normal saw wave.
Yeah, you get a lot of artifacts, like harmonic artifacts.
If
with
the
this.
square is odd harmonics and saw is even harmonics, so can you compensate for all that?
I don't. That's where you get the artifacts, Andy. This is what I'm saying.
Right,
I don't think it's a true science. I think it's like Korg going, we can FAUX, we can for a saw, right?
It was an experiment.
For saw. For sure. Anyway, this one's been circuit bent. If you haven't worked that out, they've got the cutoff, and now that's really easy mod to do, by the way. I've got the desktop module of this, and it's even easier on the desktop module because you've got more panel space. Basically, all that stuff over there on the right is literally just typical Korg, right? They've been doing this since the age 20.
Yep.
Let's print a whole bunch of crap on here so people don't get lost with their synthesizer.
But that's where you put your laptop.
That's where you put your beer.
Yeah.
That mod, by the way,
it's a trademark of Korg.
The mod does sound good. I can't remember if it bypasses the digital steppiness of the filter, or if it, because the way that you adjust the filter on the Poly 800 was that you're literally pressing the up and down value buttons. See the value? See the value here? You literally have an up and down button here. Oh, and this guy's put those Dynamo labels on it because all the paint has gone over the
No, I think they've resprayed it.
Yeah,
I think it's resprayed. That's not a factory color.
If I remember the mod correctly, Rants, the filter trim pod is what you hook into. It's a fully analog trim.
So it's an analog filter.
An analog filter.
Oh, that's good.
It's just that the control voltage that comes out of the synths control CPU is stepped.
Yeah, because it's a digital processor. Yeah, because it's a fairly decent MIDI implementation on this for its stage.
That's good. It is.
These were dirt cheap too in the day. Like that's
they cheaper than the 106, and that's what they were trying to compete with.
But really, really, really limited sonically limited, big time. Once you kind of worked out that it's a bit like a Timberwolf of the 80s. This thing really, it was very limited sonically. Okay, yeah. I actually do like.
I love the color.
I do like the sound of it. I wouldn't be spending $1,000 Australian on one of those, though. Even if it is modded. You can mod it yourself. It's not that hard.
Just overpriced, big time.
Yeah, and then there's this, the Sequential Prophet 2002. This is an eBay auction. Now, Wagoo, do you have one of these? Thanks, Robbie. Let's just quickly grab that before it scrolls off. Good on you, mate. Thanks for the £5. Appreciate it. Okay. Wagoo says he doesn't. Okay, well, this one's for sale, mate. It's on eGay. Prophet 2002.
Got to get them all.
Got to get your digital sampler happening. the floppy
That's a
disk
sampler,
drive.
is it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right. So, what do you guys want to know about the Prophet 2002? I'll tell you a little bit about it.
We don't have enough time for all I want to know.
What? Yeah, release date. Number one, polyphony.
1985.
Okay, so that's similar time to the Poly 800. That was 85. Pretty sure.
Okay, so sampling is 8 sound engines, 8 voice polyphonic machine with 512 kilobytes of recording rates of up to 41.6, which is just under the 44.1, and it's 12-bit as well.
12-bit.
Yeah. Crunchy.
Crunchy.
It does have. This is what I like about this, right? It does have. I should go back to us while we're talking. 8 analog VCFs in this. So it's got the CEM 3379 VCFs. So that's cool because like that brings this into the hybrid sampler world.
Yeah, it's
And
like an Emax 1.
It's like an Emax 1, yeah. Yep.
SB 1200s and that kind of thing.
Apparently you can get the GoTech drive mod for this, and so that will give you, because the way the operating system works on this thing is all your samples are loaded from the floppy drive. Because remember, this is 1985. We all just used to rock around with little floppy drives in our top pockets. That's what we did.
SD card then.
Yep.
SD card mod, is that?
You remember that, don't you, Chris? In 85, we had the top pocket with the floppy disk hanging out the top.
I've still got a box of floppies from my TX16W sitting in the back room. I wonder if they still read.
So the 2002, okay, so the sequential Prophet 2000, right, was the one that they brought out. The 2002, and there's a 2002 Plus as well, which you could get, which was even better than this one. But you're looking at $1,250. That's actually not bad. I don't know, Wigoo, are you thinking $1,250 is pretty good? I'm actually thinking that's a pretty good price. This one, unfortunately,
Seems pretty good. Yeah.
This one, unfortunately, is going to cost a bit in postage because it is in, where did I see it? Ohio. Amelia in Ohio. It's probably closer to Andy than anywhere. Ohio's not that far from California.
It's the middle of the U.S.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, road trip. Dude, where's my car?
So that's enough for me.
Let's see the Synth Geekery road trip video one day.
We'll go through we'll go through the takeout Chinese restaurant drive-through. No more and then.
That's where Devo's from, though, from Ohio.
They are, yeah, Mark.
Akron, Ohio.
Anyway, so there's I think that's the last one, isn't it? I think we've scrolled around. Yeah, there we go. So out of those, what are you guys salivating over? What would you buy? Would you buy the Prophet, the guitar, the Korg, the Poly 800? Ooh, that's probably not the deal of today.
Yeah.
Are you asking me? I'm
asking any of you.
Around. Are you asking me?
Anyone? Yeah, I know what you'd get.
Obviously the 500.
Okay.
The 800 DV for me, I think.
Yeah.
I think that does not surprise me, Ian, because you do like your 700 sound.
I know. Yeah.
Why do Korg not bring out, like the mini log, right? Or even the what's the smaller one? Is it the mini log? Monolog. That's it. I was trying to think of the name of it. Why don't they bring out a monolog 700 version? Like, I'm not talking about the 700S with the.
No.
Use the same voicing structure, but put it in a monolog form factor.
Okay.
That'd be killer.
I bought myself a monolog.
Because the monolog isn't based on the 700 voice. It's based on it's kind of when Tats was kind of there and he was doing. It was kind of like it's a hybrid of MS-20 / ARP stuff. Yeah. That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because that's what they were releasing around.
Just to make an NTS with the 700 in it, little box. So.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No.
Imagine that.
The monologue is a really good budget.
She's not convinced.
Yeah.
They have a little traveler ribbon.
No, absolutely not.
Heresy.
with you, yeah,
Heresy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some things
No,
you don't
I'm
touch.
a big fan of
Get me
the
the
monologue.
holy water.
Yeah.
I have to
Monologue
admit-
700 would be absolutely awesome.
We've had Korg roll out all their crap this week, right? And I say crap, I don't mean it was crappy, but some of it was. I honestly feel that Roland have been rolling stuff out since the start of the late part of the year, and then start of this year they've been rolling things out like the Gaia 2 and
Okay.
I don't really know if I could be wrong, but I don't really know if Roland are going to bring anything out for NAMM, anything new, because if they would,
They don't show up anymore because they put the stuff in the stores.
we would hear about it probably by now. That's what I'm thinking, because NAMM is literally next week, right? Andy,
Yeah,
you're
but
down there next Friday, aren't you? You going down Friday? Yep.
And I'll be there Thursday through
Going down
Sunday,
Thursday.
so.
Stay the night. Okay. Yep. Now,
But that's does Roland have a tradition of pre-announcing their stuff before NAMM? Because
usually
in
a
my
few
head,
days.
they wait for NAMM.
Yeah.
No, they do. Usually a few days before. So usually it's if we do find out what Roland are going to bring out, it'll be this week between this show and my next show that I'll do. That's when we'll find
Are
out.
they actually going to be there? Are we sure they're going to be there?
I thought they had a stand. I
They
remember
kind of
reading. I
need-
remember
they
reading a
kind
list,
of
and
have
Roland
to.
were definitely on that list.
All right. Cool.
They may
Even-
be coming
even if
back
it's
with the new
the-
damn time shift. So,
Yeah.
What?
but they weren't there last year.
What time shift?
Well, yeah,
Well, it's
that's
back in January.
I remember. Yeah.
This is winter
Yeah.
NAMM again,
Oh, yeah.
like it's supposed to be.
I mean, my opinion, my impression is that they should because Roland and Boss is the same thing, is the same budget, and Boss is been releasing a ton of new stuff in 2023. So if Boss goes, I assume Roland goes. So because proportionally, Boss has released 3 times more material in 23 than Roland has.
Okay, Roland and Boss are together in 5432. If you're going, Andy, that's the stand number 5432.
I won't
Yes,
miss it.
you
It'll be
are
some
going,
big
Andy.
things, so I
No, you are
I'll see
going to the
everything.
boss's
I'll be there
stand.
many days. I see everything. I even go to the stupid light stands and all the goofy guitar stuff and all that. So
They're saying
wink,
on their
wink,
listing
Andy,
that
yes,
they've
you
got
are going to
keyboards and
Boss.
they've got keyboards and synthesizers and DJ equipment as well as Boss, stuff as well. So, and this might be, see this name I got the little sort of birdie whisper. I'm not going to be able to go myself, but this might be a good one for you to pick up some t-shirts and stuff this year. That's kind of the little birdie whisper that I've been getting, and they're always good to get if you can grab yourself on the first day. See if you can get around to like Roland and Korg and that, and see if you can pick up a few free t-shirts, and they're always good to get. Because sometimes they don't just give those things out, but
they never have my size anyway, so I don't care about those things. So.
that's the
They
other
make it for
problem.
kids.
There
Like
is
kid
that.
sizes,
They
so.
do, don't they? What's the deal with that? It's like everything.
Chinese
Oh,
sizes, yeah.
They're made in China.
Small
with
Asian
cheap
man
stuff,
size.
and the sizes are different. So
You guys have a law in
get
the
large,
US
it's not a
though
large.
that if I'm pretty sure you guys have a law in the US that I remember talking to a retailer about this in Australia because I had a big whinge about it. If you go to a store in the US and you ask for an extra large or a medium or whatever, right? It has to be a specific size. It actually has a measurement that's attached to it. Whereas I'm pretty sure in the UK and Australia, they can put that sticker on anything they like. They could put it on a Barbie doll shirt,
And Europe.
and say it's extra large, and we would just be
I've bought an extra large shirt that was medium, clearly medium.
yeah. When I went to Hong Kong. I literally could not fit into anything that was below extra large. Like
No.
it was
An
like
extra large
insane.
It's equivalent to a large, yeah.
I mean, I'm not small. I'm not going to lie. I probably could drop a few kilos, but like it was pretty embarrassing. I'm going into shops and there was nothing there that I could fit into, and I'm like, "Do you have anything bigger than extra large?" And this like tiny petite little Asian guy would come up to me and goes, "Oh, well, you're a large man," and I'm,
Yes, it's like,
"Well, you're a small man."
Emotional damage.
I thought, don't they know it's polite to call you festive size?
Well, the problem is with shoes too. I have big feet, and shoes are a nightmare to buy. So even around here, I have to go certain places and certain brands because
exactly this because otherwise they're too narrow, right? That's I can
no,
get the
too
length.
short even.
Oh well, I get the length right because I don't have a problem with length.
14
but
is a
the
hard
width-
size to come by around here.
Oh, you're a
So
14.
basketball players have like 16s and 18s. They have to go online a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's US size, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I
So
was just thinking that's
yeah.
not-
So he'd be a 12. He'd be a 12.
12,
Yeah.
Wait.
He's the same size as me.
Whoa.
I'm a 12.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How tall are you,
Size
Ranzee?
12, yeah.
Just shy of 6, 5'11". Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris has seen
My
me.
son's 12.
Yeah.
He's 6.
I'm not small, am I, Chris?
To hell. I was scared to hell. I thought my floor was gonna. There's a hole in my floor. I thought it was gonna hold it.
I'm a
Guys,
big
you're
fat
making me
bastard.
feel very bad now.
No, yeah.
You're scaring me.
You're
You're
large.
making me feel really bad. I'm
I'm actually-
177 and I'm a 7.
I'm actually 20 kilos lighter than when I saw Chris last time, though, so I'm quite proud of that.
Excellent. Well done.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good guy. Guys, I'm 177 and I'm a 7.
You got little feet.
What? 14? 16? What?
No,
Yeah,
12.
Growing up, I almost never wore
He's a
a pair of
12.
shoes out because my feet kept
US
going too
sizes.
fast. I couldn't wear the shoes out. So
Yeah, US sizes. Yeah.
I'm
What?
a UK.
God,
Australian
I'm a 10.
13, UK.
You're making me feel bad now.
Yeah. No, but it's the thing, like we go into like a shop here local and all those I will call it Chinese because that's what they are. They're Chinese clothes. I mean 99% of the clothes now are made in China. They have now made it into our stores. They have for the last 5 years now. And you can't buy the size that you used to get anymore because it isn't the right size. It's like some it's shrunk in the wash version.
You have to try
No, it
everything
sucks too.
on.
Concerts charge a lot of money for those damn shirts, like $50, right? And they don't fit well.
But see, Chris is not
The
like
Peter
Chris.
Gabriel concert.
Chris is
the
not a
shirts are not the right size.
Chris is not a big guy. Like he's not. I mean, I would say he's thin, right? I wouldn't, not in a rude way, but he's thin. And I guarantee you that if he went into a shop compared to like 15 years ago, it's a completely different size that he's buying. T-shirt,
Absolutely.
and it makes you feel.
Yeah.
I don't know, a little bad because you get a bigger size.
Yeah, I didn't used to buy any clothes that started with an X. And
Yeah.
now I have to buy everything that starts with an X.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's not. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
do.
totally changed.
Big feet,
that's
big feet
exactly
synth owners in the chat. Clown feet.
Joke was
We're
I
doing
used to
the
do
same
that.
as me.
People would say,
Same
"Oh,
size."
wear the box," right? That's what people used to tell me. Just wear the box, you know.
Just wrap a black garbage bag around your foot and gaffer tape it. You'll be all right.
Basically.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is they only give you one box. That's the only problem.
Well, they have spares in the
But
back.
yeah, that's the reality. Yeah, that's the reality for women's clothes. It's in nowhere in the world there's a female clothes standard. Sizes are, I think, random. It's totally random. Sometimes
So
even
try
within the
stuff on.
same brand.
You can't just buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Totally.
even want to begin to understand anything female. So yeah, I'd just rather stay in the dark about the whole thing. I've been on this planet for more than 50
Mystery
years.
box.
I've tried. I have tried.
That's right.
I have
And
failed. And I have moved on.
Join the club. Yeah.
What show is this?
Cool.
The synth. This is called Saturday Sonority, my friend. This is what we call it.
Yes, it is.
See, talk.
We've hit the pumpkin time anyway, so we're probably going to wrap it up in a
It's
sec.
I think part of the show, yeah.
Yeah. I just there'll be another week where there'll be a crap load of products, no doubt, released. So expect another big show.
Well,
traditionally, if I look back at the stats, the weekend where NAMM is on, the winter NAMM I'm talking about, not the summer one, my show usually has about 50% less people watching it because they're all watching like the 50,000 Sonic State videos that have been released every 5 minutes. And they're probably they're probably overgeared by that stage. So I do apologize, but I can't afford to fly to Los Angeles. It's a long way away from where I live. And nobody in the 5 years that I've been doing this show has ever emailed me and said, you know what, Ranz, we'd love you to come over. Here's a free airfare. That's about the only chance that I'm ever going to do getting over there. I'm happy to cover accommodation, but I'm not going to be paying for an airfare. So
ungrateful kids.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not expecting any of you guys to fit it. I'm talking about manufacturers or someone in that sort of ilk. But I don't think there's any benefit they're going to have for this fat, ugly Aussie going over to Los Angeles. Other than going around and having beers with all the guys that he knows online. That's probably what I'll be doing. It'll be like literally
I tend to disagree.
It won't be called NAMM, but it'll be called Piss Fest. That's what it'll be called.
You'd probably go over. You'd probably go over and in the intention of doing lots of filming, and then end up having beers with everyone, and then having to go back and play and going, oh shit, I didn't take any footage.
Filming whilst hungover.
That's a
not
German
a
one. That's Super Booth. That's what happens in Super Booth.
Yeah,
it's true.
I've probably got more of a chance.
I got almost any expo. I've been going to. I went to Macworld before they killed it, and Seabold and SIGGRAPH, and I never made it to Comdex before they folded, and I never made it to CES.
What's that?
But one of these days.
Comdex
Consumer Electronics Show. It's in Vegas. Comdex is closed. It's an old computer show.
I'd like to go to Super Bowl. I was hoping to go this year to Super Bowl.
You got more of a chance of going though, Ian, because it's literally you.
I have, yeah.
You don't even have to get on a plane. You could jump on a train and go there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, go through the tunnel. Yeah.
All
right. I nearly forgot. N4 giving us the $4.99. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that.
Excellent.
Brilliant. Wagoo reckons I'm going to go walkabout in LA like Mick Dundee in New York.
That's not a knife.
That's not a Kaoss pad.
Walking the dogs going to transfix the dogs. Yeah.
You will like the Timberwolf. You will buy the Timberwolf.
Oh, that's true. That's the one. You would.
There'll be someone over there going, oh, you're Australian, right? Oh, what do they make over there? Like, I just heard there's just a whole bunch of kangaroos hopping around. And be like, oh, well, we've got poly effects pedals. We've got what was that synth called? The Melbourne Instruments synth.
Melbourne Instruments.
You could literally name about 20 Eurorack companies. There's the GP82 by this guy here. That's famous.
Yeah. They just want to know about shrimps on the bar. That's all they want to know.
Is non-linear circuits here? I think non-linear circuits.
Non-linear circuits.
Never forget the Fairlight. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You are the ones to blame for the whole sampler generation.
No, exactly. The Fairlight.
We gave you
there you
push.
Go. We gave you. I don't even.
That sounded wrong. That came out way wrong.
They call that map of Tassie, don't they?
Okay.
These guys won't get that. Okay, look at Australia, people. I'll explain it for Eddie. Look at the map of Australia, and down the bottom there's this island that's like a triangle shape. It's called Tassie or Tasmania.
Yeah.
Tasmania.
And then cast your mind into the female anatomy. What else is triangle shape?
Tassie. It's a Tassie. I get it. I get it.
Sorry for all the ladies watching. I just had to explain something. And on that complete amount of disappointment.
Sorry, lady aptitude.
Is it the only female watching?
I don't know, but
I'm sure
this is the only one that
I'm sure she'll be
confessed to
fine
be a
with it.
female. Okay. Let's not get into the gender.
I don't think she'll get
Actually, when the
upset.
guy
Identification
gave out
thing.
the last show, when he gave out all those free subs, you see all the names pop up that never chat. There are tons of people in there.
I know, and I was trying to tell him, like, I don't know why you're doing it. He's like, oh, I'm drunk. I'll do whatever I want. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, a lot of names I didn't recognize at all. They're just hanging out. They're not chatting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was partly the intention, was to
Well,
reveal a few
At the
lurkers.
time, I think I had something like 16,000 subscribers, and I'm like, well, if you keep going, you'll eventually. I think Wagyu, his aim was to get Wagyu a membership.
Yeah, still couldn't get it.
It's a W, right? It's at the end of the alphabet. Anyway, we're gonna finish the show because it's pumpkin time, and I'm sure someone's gonna walk in the door and tell me off in a minute, just like what happened to Ian just then.
I just came watching and I got told. I didn't get told off. She's just come back.
Anyway, all the best. Hope you enjoy watching all the videos popping out during the week with all the new products. I'm sure you guys will have fun watching them all. But until then, thanks to everyone for coming on the show. Eddie, Chris,
have fun,
Ian, Andy.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Have fun.
Always a pleasure.
Absolutely.
I'll be doing
Yeah,
live
can't be
streams
watched,
also doing
please.
Kent's pub for the
The long pub,
Fun
the super pub. Yeah, that'll be
super
fun.
pub. That's right.
They're going to be doing some more jamming again.
Is
I
that
think
tonight?
No, wait.
Oh, and I'm
There's
just talking about the
probably
NAM
is.
thing.
the NAM is the long one. Yeah,
NAM, it's the second annual super pub for
All
NAM.
right.
So
we have to go.
Okay.
Sorry, we could talk all
See
night.
you later,
but,
guys. See you later,
yeah.
chatties.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.